Coucou, j'espère que vous allez bien. Bienvenue de retour chez Première Dame Look. Moi, c'est Adrienne, a.k.a. la star à papa, a.k.a. Adrienne, Première Dame. Est-ce que vous êtes là? Les sons, ça va? Bozo Kanga, bien? Les amis, dans les commentaires, je veux voir vos réactions avant que l'on puisse faire entrer notre invité du jour. Coucou la famille. Coucou la famille, c'est bel et bien Adrienne Bozawana. J'espère que vous m'écoutez, j'espère que les sons marchent. Je suis en train de vérifier quelques trucs ici vite fait nassé. Hein, soyez patients. Soyez vraiment patients dans les lives d'aujourd'hui. Et on a à parler. On a notre invitée qui, elle aussi, de son côté, elle s'apprête pour venir live avec nous ensemble. OK? Donc, aujourd'hui, on est un week-end, samedi. Nabandat Nabino, j'espère que ça va. Voilà. Facebook, hi. Voilà. Je vais commencer les lives dans quelques minutes. Soyez vraiment nombreux. Partagez cette vidéo de partout où vous êtes. On est à 307 vidéos. On va commencer lorsqu'on essaiera que plus de 1000 personnes parce qu'il y a une exclusivité ce soir. Donc, l'audience d'aujourd'hui sera l'audience anglophone, l'audience francophone. Nous allons parler en anglais. Nous allons parler aussi en français. OK? Connectez-vous de partout. Connectez-vous de partout là où vous êtes. Like the video, aimez aussi la vidéo. Nous vous attendons, on vous attend. Connectez-vous, connectez-vous. Partagez d'abord la vidéo avant l'introduction. Ok, bon, cabo la vidéo, oh, vraiment. Toza makambo ebele, tozo solola awa. Ok. J'espère que notre invitée, elle va entrer. So get ready because I'm about to start the live. I'm just checking some stuff here, okay? Voilà, lelo eza somo. Lelo eza kuinda. Today is today. Basically, I was contacted last night by Kevin Kaseya, girlfriend, okay? She want to talk. She want to use this platform. She want to come in live with you, me, and she just want to speak her truth, okay? She want to explain what was going on. She want to tell us everything, okay? She want to share her truth, basically. Verite naende tozoyo kalelo. Soyez là, 1000 personnes. On commence la vidéo. I'm waiting to get up to 1,000 people. By the time we reach 1,000 people, we're starting our live, okay? Our live show will start only with 1,000 people. Je vais partager cette vidéo sur Facebook maintenant. Je suis sur ma page Facebook pour le partage de la vidéo. On est à 370 combien? 370 quelques. Pour que cette vidéo ne puisse pas être menacée, aimez la vidéo. Guys, like the video. like the video because I don't want to get in trouble. Je ne veux pas que cette vidéo puisse être signalée. I'm waiting to get up to 1,000 people. This is serious. 1,000. J'attends qu'on puisse arriver à 1,000 personnes. Nalobi, combien? 1,000 personnes. Et Adrienne, 1,000 personnes et Beléboué. B comment? Aujourd'hui, on a des exclusivités, rien que l'exclusivité que nous allons partager avec vous. Oza live, Naza live, na Facebook, mettez les likes, partagez avant que je puisse annoncer qui viendra avec nous en direct. Qu'est-ce qu'on va parler aujourd'hui? I want you guys to share this. Guys, share this live. Share everything that will be shared here. Partagez cette vidéo. Prenez la vidéo, copiez-la. Strike aux alatés. There won't be any strike. There won't be any copyright issue. There will not be anything of such. Okay? Does that make sense? Aujourd'hui, il n'y aura pas le truc en genre copyright, genre ce nini. Cette vidéo, c'est gratuit. Cette vidéo est faite pour toi. C'est pour la communauté et tout. Je vous pose d'abord une question. Si toi, on te contacte par quelqu'un, écoute, j'ai à parler. Tu vas refuser? Non. Naïf Sarabino, je ne cherche pas les informations, mais cherche. OK? Donc, nous allons parler à la copine de Kevin. We're going to be speaking to the former girlfriend of Kevin, Kaseya. She reached out last night. She wanted to speak her truth. She wanted to explain because at this point, she was feeling like, you know, people really don't know the truth. People like her getting a snapshot of her story. Hier soir, j'ai parlé avec la copine, la former copine, comme vous connaissez bien, de Kevin. Et puis, elle avait quelques trucs qu'elle voulait nous dire, que vous n'avez pas encore écouté ça hier. Elle veut juste la vérité, que tout le monde connaisse la vérité. Enfin, qu'elle puisse vivre en paix dans sa vie. Depuis que cette histoire a commencé, elle est tourmentée. OK? Partagez la vidéo. Dans quelques minutes, nous allons commencer. Donc, je vais déjà introduire mon invité d'aujourd'hui. OK? Guys, I'm going to add my tonight's guest. OK? Je vais l'introduire maintenant. She's gonna come live. Elle va venir live avec moi. Dr. Sissi, hello.
Hi.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Hello. I can. Can you hear me?
Can you hear me? Can you say hello to people?
Hello, everybody. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Hi. Can you hear me?
I can. Can you hear me?
I can hear you now. So, yeah.
Okay. Awesome. Okay. Hello, everyone. Hello, everybody. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. So basically, hold on. Yeah, I can hear you perfectly. So you can hear me and everyone can hear you. Can you say hello?
Hello, everybody. Bonjour. Good evening.
Thank you so much for coming live with me. Merci beaucoup de venir live avec moi. Alors, je me présente d'abord pour ceux-là qui ne me connaissent pas. Moi, c'est Adrienne, première dame. I was just introducing myself and now I will introduce you. But I'd rather you to introduce yourself. J'aimerais que tu puisses t'introduire toi-même. Vas-y.
Okay. My name is Chipo. I live in South Africa. I'm originally from Zimbabwe. And I was Kevin's girlfriend for 18 months.
Okay. So we're talking to Chipo from South Africa, right? And she's been on a formal relationship with Kevin for how many months?
18 months, so a year and a half.
Yeah. Donc, on est en train de parler avec Chipo. Elle est une Zimbabwéenne, elle est en relation amoureuse avec Kevin pendant plus de 18 mois. 18 mois de relation. Nous allons commencer avec notre première question directement pour ouvrir le show. We're going to start straight away with our first question. Can you tell us a bit more about the Olangi family? Because you were involved, you know the story, and I would like to address that this is not the focus of the show, but I wanted this truth to be heard. Can you tell us a bit more about Eunice Olangi and the family and the experience that she had when she was giving birth, and then what Kevin was giving as an advice? Je répète cette question. Elle a à nous dire quelques vérités lors de l'accouchement d'Eunice Olangi. Comment Kevin était là pour donner des conseils en tant que docteur. Take it away if you can answer us now, please.
Thank you so much. So around the end of November, beginning of December, I think the baby came on the 1st of December, if I'm not mistaken. It was a Friday. I remember that distinctly. He was obviously in and out of my house a lot. And there was a couple of phone calls that he received and made. He then explained to me, I didn't know who the Olangis were. He explained to me that this family were his cousins, and the youngest daughter was having a baby. She was allegedly in the US, in New York to be precise. New York, and she went through a very long labor. And he was giving advice that, look, it looks like the baby will start getting distressed. So I think you should tell the doctor to maybe consider doing a cesarean section.
Okay.
So that's the first time that he mentioned this Olangi family, and he told me that these were his cousins. He even went as far as opening Instagram and showing me a couple of pictures, etc. Yeah. So that's the first time he mentioned. That was around the beginning of December 2019.
Okay, so in December 2019, he started mentioning about the Olangi family, and then him giving advice when Eunice Olangi was giving birth, and then advising them to give her a C-section. Is that
correct?
What you said?
Correct.
So, en 2019 décembre, je ne sais pas si vous qui suivez Eunice Olangi, elle a accouché à New York précisément, son premier ou sa première fille, je ne sais pas. Et Chipo, en ce moment-là, était avec Kevin, et Kevin était la personne qui donnait des conseils. Comment il pensait qu'on doit donner, comment on peut faire césarienne à Eunice et tout pour qu'elle puisse accoucher et tout, en sachant que il n'était pas docteur. Je voulais vraiment parler de ça pour la communauté, juste pour to try to raise awareness about this man. Et nous allons move à la deuxième question. We're gonna go on our second question now. The second question, which is, I've just shared your photo there. The second question, which is about the marquee, okay? Because when I spoke to you last night, you told me that the wedding marquee, you were involved in this instance. You were aware of everything and all the details about the hiring. And then, like, you know, can you tell us a bit more about that? Cette question que je la pose maintenant, c'est concernant les marquis. Marquis, c'est les tentes. Hein? C'est la photo que vous êtes en train de voir là, qu'on avait utilisée le jour du mariage de Acsa Olangi. Comment yekutu mbanda mutazare ko loué ko sala ba makamnyosto. Can you explain us a bit more what happened there?
Sure. So we were away for a long weekend around his birthday. It was around his birthday is on the 24th of September. So we left Johannesburg on the 25th. And I remember it was a Saturday morning on the 26th. He mentioned that.
Hello? 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 Hello, I can't hear you.
Sorry, can you hear me now?
Yeah, you're back on. Yes.
Okay. So he said that his cousin Sophie was getting married end of November, and the family had asked him to make a couple of calls around South Africa to see if he could assist in getting a marquee built and shipped to Kinshasa for this wedding. And I remember distinctly that morning, his phone had no signal. So we used my phone to make the phone call. So we called two suppliers. He had contact numbers for two suppliers. We also looked on Google to see if we could find a few more. So both suppliers have my number. So anyone can verify this information. And yeah, so he made the phone calls and he did the speaking. I did the dialing. I introduced what we were looking for, and then I gave the phone to him to speak.
So there you were not aware that this was specifically for his own wedding. In your opinion, you were thinking that you were helping his cousin who was getting married, but rather he was him, the man.
Correct. And he told me that the cousin that was getting married was Sophie, right? And then he also said, remember last year the sister had a baby. Remember I was calling them and helping them with the delivery. He mentioned that weekend as well.
Okay.
And then he also showed me the other link to the Olangis that I remember. He showed me a picture of when Eunice returned to Kinshasa.
Okay.
He showed me a picture of her arriving, and I think that was in July 2020.
So he had access to all the info or all the exclusivity of the family.
Correct.
Let me just stop you there because I'd like to give a bit more translation so people can understand. Si vous êtes dans cette live, la vidéo est gratuite. Vous pouvez la prendre, vous pouvez la repartager dans vos sites parce que pour atteindre beaucoup de gens et tout. Elle est en train d'expliquer, je ne sais pas si vous êtes en train de voir la photo qui apparaît là, comment elle était involved, elle était vraiment appliquée pour la location du marquis et comment est-ce qu'elle avait fait tout, même financièrement, comme vous-même le savez, afin que ces marquis puissent être loué et puis parce que Kevin l'avait dit, nous allons prendre ça, nous allons envoyer ça au Congo parce que ma cousine se marie. Et puis après même son mariage, on va prendre cette marquis, on va commencer à faire ça pour une action de l'Église. Et aussi, il explique clairement toutes, les mouvements de la famille et puis à sa copine, comme vous voulez. Nous allons parler du troisième sujet que je vais d'abord qu'elle-même elle puisse nous expliquer parce que c'était un peu flou, vous n'avez pas compris du tout à propos de la fille en question de Lesego, son anniversaire et qu'est-ce qu'elle avait fait pour la fille. Can you explain to us what happened on Dassie's birthday, please?
Okay, so about 2 weeks before Dassie's birthday is beginning of August, I asked him what he was going to do about the party and whether he thought about getting a cake and a gift, etc. And he said to me that, look, her mom's not involved, so I'll just make a plan. So I said, okay, please allow me to help you. I can get the cake, I can order balloons, and I can help you make it a happy occasion for her, right? So he actually sent me, I said, what cartoon characters does she like?
Yeah.
Right? So he said to me, it's either going to be Belle or Rapunzel, right?
Yeah.
And then he actually sent me a picture of Belle.
Yeah.
Right? The fictional character Belle.
Yeah.
Right? And I think I've shared with you that message, so you can share it with everyone. And so I went ahead and I ordered a cake for her. I got all the balloons that you see on that picture there. I did the balloons. I got her a gift. I got her some Barbie toys and some puzzles. And then he came to collect, on the morning of her birthday, he came to collect the cake and the gifts from my house. And he came with his nephew, Cedric. I'm sure people have heard this name being bandied around. He came with Cedric, so Cedric could hold the cake. and they told me that they would celebrate, either they would take Dasi to Blandine's house, or they would get Blandine's kids who are of the same age as Dasi, and Tazi's kids who are also the same age to come over and play for the day.
But you didn't know there was a whole party that was going on.
Well, I didn't know that Lesego was still very much in the picture.
Yeah.
Right. And I just thought it was a couple of kids coming to play either at his house or at his sister's house. Okay. But I did the balloons and I got the gifts.
Ok, just allow me to explain that. So, elle est en train de nous expliquer clairement que le jour de l'anniversaire de Dasi, vous allez comprendre. Ça, je la pose 3 questions un peu capitales et tout, comme ça, elle va nous expliquer maintenant sa réalité, sa relation avec Kevin. Mais elle explique en avance que les jours de l'anniversaire de la fille de Kevin, comme Kevin lui avait dit que je ne suis plus un homme marié et tout, c'est elle qui avait organisé tout. Les ballons que vous êtes en train de voir, les cakes, les cakes et tout, c'est elle qui avait acheté, elle qui était là. Kevin lui a dit, comme la maman de ma fille n'est pas vraiment dans l'histoire, elle ne s'occupe pas de sa fille et tout, moi je vais faire tout. Et elle faisait tout en sachant que c'est elle la copine, quoi, que Kevin Azara qui n'a moi cité Kevin Boy, alors que c'était très, très différent de ce qui était la réalité. Kevin a dit à sa copine, je vais prendre tous les cadeaux, je vais prendre tous les ballons, on va aller célébrer l'anniversaire de ma fille chez ma sœur, sa sœur qui est Blandine, comme vous-même vous connaissez déjà. Okay, we're gonna move on from that, and now I would like you to explain your truth. You're gonna tell us the truth of everything that happens. From the story, you said you were in a relationship with Kevin for more than 18 months. So I'd like to ask you, can you tell us a bit more about you? Because I can see from the picture, you're not a young girl, okay? If you like, you're not underage. Like, what happened? Was Kevin your first man? How did you get to meet Kevin? And then at this point, before you kind of, explain to us, and then we're going to say the reason for this call or for this live today, and then you're going to take it from there and start explaining. En fait, je suis en train de la demander. Elle est quand même âgée. Elle a fait 18 mois de relations amoureuses jusqu'au mois de janvier, début janvier 2021. Elle était la copine de Kevin. Elle va nous expliquer, c'est ya balakate, 18 mois, comment est-ce que se retrouve na bolingo. Et puis, elle va expliquer, biso, relation na mobimba, na Kevin, et banda kindengemi.
Okay.
So just take it from there.
I turned 50 last year, so you're correct. I'm not a young child. I'm not underage. I am 50 years old, and I was married. I left my marriage after trying to fix and build and repair and therapy and all that. My ex-husband went and fathered. By the time I decided enough was enough, he was into it was 3.5 kids after my son. 3.5 kids. When the 4th child was obviously being carried by the mom, I said to him, enough is enough. I can't do this anymore. I tried to get him to bring the children into the family so that obviously there would be accountability from his perspective. But what I know for a fact, if a man does not want to bring his children into his marital home, then you know that something is still going on with the mother of the child.
Yeah.
So I chose to leave the marriage, and I'm Catholic, right? And I don't know whether there's any Catholics listening. To get divorced in the Catholic Church is very difficult. I had to get permission from the Pope, obviously through my parish priest, to get that divorce, the divorce approved, right? So I have never, ever wanted to be party of a 3-way relationship where the man is married. Okay, I am a stickler for my beliefs, and this is one of the reasons why I reached out when I first saw that Kevin was still very married to Lesego. right? I needed to reach out to her to apologize to her for my part in the relationship that I had with Kevin. Okay. So when I met Kevin, when I first met Kevin, he told me that he was going through a divorce.
Okay,
right?
hold on there. Oh, can you just hold on there? You're going to start from when you met Kevin. Okay, elle est en train de dire, elle est plus âgée, elle n'est pas une jeune fille comme peut-être d'autres peuvent penser. Lorsque elle était déjà mariée, ok? Elle était mariée et elle avait eu ses enfants dans son premier mariage avec son mari. Et lorsque son mari a commencé à faire l'infidélité, son mari a commencé à voir ailleurs, son mari a commencé à aller chercher les femmes et tout, elle avait décidé que trop c'est trop parce que son mari avait fait 3 enfants dehors à l'extérieur. Et comme étant une catholique, elle s'est décidée que moi, je ne peux pas vivre dans une relation à 3 personnes, dont moi, mon mari et une autre femme. Elle avait décidé de quitter son couple, enfin de vivre en paix. Et elle avait juré elle-même que elle ne peut jamais se mettre dans un couple ou dans une relation avec un homme marié. Maintenant, lorsque elle s'est croisée avec Kevin, Kevin s'est présenté comme étant l'homme qui n'est pas marié. Elle va continuer la suite comme ça. J'ai vraiment besoin que vous puissiez l'écouter elle-même, qu'elle explique sa vraie version et puis pourquoi on est ici ce soir. Can you now explain to us when you met Kevin, like what happened there?
Okay, I met Kevin at a function I went to at a Land Rover Jaguar Experience. I remember it was a Friday, the 25th of July, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. We literally walked into the place together, registered together, but we didn't talk until the afternoon session. Okay. Yeah. We ended up in the same car, and I remember he asked me if you were to go anywhere in this car, where would you like to go? And I told him I've always wanted to drive. There's this area in South Africa called the Garden Route. And I think we were driving a Land Rover Discovery then in that session. And I said to him, if I ever wanted to, if I was to ever get a car like this, I would love to drive to the Garden Route. So he says, no, that's great. I'll drive you. So I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So then he hands me his phone and he says, put your number in my phone. So I did, right?
Yeah.
And then he says, please call me so that I know that you've given me the correct number. So I called him from my phone.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's how I got his number. Okay. And then at the end of the day, I didn't even wait to say goodbye to him at all, right? At the end of the day, I had taken a few videos of a couple of people that were at the experience. So I shared the videos with them, and he was one of the people who I had a video of, right?
Yeah.
He was clearly wearing a wedding ring at that time, right? So I could see that he was very married.
Yeah.
Right? So I sent the video and I said, great meeting you. Enjoy your weekend, because it was a Friday and that was it. He also responded very formally. Thank you so much for this video. It was a great day. Nice meeting you too. And that was the last that we communicated.
Okay.
Fast forward a couple of weeks. I think it was it was almost a month. And I remember it was a Monday morning. He sent me a message. Hi, Chipo. So I was like, what? And then we started chatting that day, right? And then he said to me, oh, I really enjoy chatting to you. Can I call you? So he phoned me. He says, oh my gosh, I love the way you speak. I love the way you articulate yourself. I have to see you. Yeah. So I'm like, but dude, you're married. What are we meeting about?
Okay.
You know?
Yeah.
So yeah, do you want to translate from there?
Okay. So
I proceed.
Yeah, no, it's fine. Elle est en train de dire que elle s'est rencontrée avec Kevin dans une fonction, peut-être une fête, quelque chose pareil, et Kevin lui a dit, OK, si tu veux qu'on puisse conduire, où est-ce que tu veux qu'on puisse partir et tout. Même, vous savez, les tactiques des hommes hein, pour prendre les numéros d'une femme. Kevin qui lui dit, voilà, mets ton numéro dans mon téléphone. Mets ton numéro dans mon téléphone et puis appelle mon numéro. Comme ça, je saurai que tu m'as donné le numéro que tu m'as donné, c'est un bon numéro. Et elle aussi, elle a pris le téléphone de Kevin. Elle a mis son numéro. Attendez, il y a un écho. Elle a pris le numéro de Kevin, elle a appelé son numéro, le numéro a passé et puis Kevin a pris son numéro. Le jour de leur rencontre, Kevin était en train de porter une bague, soit alliance, et puis elle avait compris automatiquement que Kevin était un homme marié. Alors, en ce point-là, ils se sont séparés en beauté. Et puis, quelques temps après, c'est Kevin qui commence à l'appeler. Comme quoi, oh, j'aime ta voix, j'aime ta façon de parler. Est-ce que tu peux, on peut se voir? Elle se pose la question se voir, alors que toi, tu es déjà un homme marié. So you can carry on from the point that you said to him, oh, how can we meet because you're already a married man?
Already married. He says, no, but we can be friends. You know, we can just talk. I'm going through a rocky patch in my marriage and I'm thinking about getting divorced. That's what he said to me.
Mm.
So I said, okay, we can meet, but nothing's going to happen from there. So he took me to lunch. I remember it was a restaurant called Cream in an area called Waterfall here in South Africa. It was a Wednesday, I remember, Wednesday afternoon. I insisted on lunch because I know, you know, at a certain time you have to go home, right?
Yeah.
So we went to lunch and we ended up, I think lunch was very long. We got along very well. We could talk for hours. We could make each other laugh. He's very good company. Okay. And then from there, obviously he kept trying to see me, etc. I would agree to have coffee or whatever, but it never progressed from there. And then I got a message one evening saying I've left the house. That was in October. Like middle of October, 2019. Right? He says I've left the house. I've finally done it. We are going to get a divorce now. That's
OK, hold on there. Just hold on there, please. Voilà, elle est en train de dire, lorsque Kevin commençait à l'appeler au téléphone, genre, est-ce qu'on peut se voir? Est-ce qu'on peut se croiser? Et tout, elle qui dit, mais toi qui es déjà marié, comment est-ce qu'on va se voir? Comment est-ce qu'on va encore se croiser? Et Kevin insiste que non, je suis en train de passer un moment trop difficile dans ma vie, là où je suis en train de divorcer maintenant, je suis en plein divorce et tout. J'ai besoin de parler avec quelqu'un, j'ai besoin que quelqu'un puisse me garder compagnie. Ils sont partis pour lunch. Lunch en français, c'est les repas de midi, hein, je pense comme on appelle ça. Souper, je sais pas si c'est quoi. Voilà, elle a pris sa copine, elle l'a ramené dans un restaurant called Cream et ils sont partis, ils ont mangé. Et en tout cas, elle insiste que Kevin, c'est quelqu'un de bon. Si tu es avec lui, c'est un bon compagnie au sexo et puis il va te mettre à l'aise et tout. Et puis, quelques temps après, Kevin qui envoie les messages à sa copine en disant que non, finalement, j'ai divorcé, on vient de nous divorcer. Vous voyez un peu les tactiques, les techniques. Il prend vraiment son temps pour que son histoire puisse devenir vraie. Et ça que non, tu m'as vu avec la bague, je suis mariée, je passe un moment difficile, est-ce qu'on peut être amis? Et quelques temps après, il lui dit, finalement, je l'ai fait, finalement, on est divorcé. You can take it from there now. When he told you he's divorced.
Left the house. He's left the house and he left Lesego in the house. I didn't even know her name was Lesego then. He told me her name was Doria. Right? And I know part of Lesego's second name has the Doria part in it.
Okay.
So he told a part truth there. And after he moved out of the house, that's the first time he asked me for money. And I remember it was towards the end of October. He asked me for 30,000 rands, which equates to about $2,000 in today's money.
$2,000.
$2,000
Mm-hmm.
then. And the story he told me was that, look, I don't have money now. My soon-to-be ex-wife has cleaned out our bank accounts. And I just need some money to help me with, getting food for the kids, etc.
Mm-hmm.
So I said to him, look, I was traveling. I was going to Dubai.
Yeah.
And I said to myself, I've only just really started opening up myself to this man.
Mm-hmm.
I can't give him $2,000. I'll give him $1,000. So I gave him 15,000 rands instead of the 30 that he asked for.
Yeah.
Okay. Then I went, and the agreement was he would give the money back, because I said to him, look, this is part of the money I've been saving for my trip to Dubai.
Yeah.
Right. So I will need it back because it's part of my shopping money.
Okay. So I just hold you there. En fait, Kevin qui commence maintenant à devenir un peu ami avec sa ex-copine et il commence à dire à sa copine, écoute, tellement que je passe un moment trop sale dans ma vie, est-ce que tu peux m'emprunter $10,000? Si tu me donnes $10,000, ça va m'aider pour mon divorce, ça va me faire blablabla et tout, comme vous-même vous savez, hein. Et elle dit, $10,000 c'est un peu trop, moi je suis en train de partir à Dubaï. Et elle me dit maintenant que, en tant que je ne connaissais pas cet homme, et il n'y avait pas vraiment beaucoup de trust, genre, elle n'avait pas assez confiance dès le début, et tout. Yes, you can carry on now.
Okay, so I get on my plane to go to Dubai. In fact, he took me to the airport. I get on the plane, and then he says to me, while you are in the air, I'll do the transfer. Right?
Yeah.
So I get to Dubai, and I don't know whether some of you heard, there was a voice note that I shared with another YouTube journalist, and I sent him a voice note saying Dubai was hard, right? Yeah. While I was in Dubai, he never paid me that money, right? And I was out of pocket because of that money.
Right.
So I never got that money back. So I come back, and then that's when he told me the whole story that, look, we thought that we would be able to get the money back, but the ex-wife has taken all the money, and it now has to be part of the divorce settlement, and they have to start investigating, etc. Right? So fast forward, this is now going into November. He tells me, that's when he asked me towards the end of November, he asked me for 150,000 rand, right? And I'm sure you've all heard that voice note where he says, I know I owe you a lot of money, but please, can you help me with 150,000 rands?
Yeah.
Right?
Donc, voilà, hold on. Elle est en train de dire, lorsque la relation a commencé, Kevin était là juste pour demander l'argent. Donne-moi ça. Je vais te rembourser aujourd'hui. Je vais te rembourser demain. Écoute, la femme a pris tout mon argent. Mon argent est parti. Genre, je ne peux plus accéder à l'argent. Une fois j'aurai de l'argent en mon nom, je vais te repayer. Donc, c'est maintenant devenu lobby. Lobby kuna. Genre, juste tout le jour, il y avait de nouvelles demandes venant de Kevin. Vous comprenez que cette femme, elle est un peu bien côté financière et tout. Donc, Kevin a trouvé Moutunae Maboko Bank nae comme il y a Willy Moucheni. Continue. Can you just carry on from there, please?
Okay. So I said to him, and at that time he told me that the ex-wife was a senior exec in the bank. And that they had found out that she had worked with someone from the Reserve Bank, the central bank, and had been able to forge his signature so that she could get, obviously, power of attorney over his accounts. And she had cleaned out his investment account and also his personal check account. And he purported to have a lot of money. Now, this story was very believable because I have seen in other situations where husbands and wives have taken money from each other's accounts. And plus, it made sense because she works in a bank, right? She's a senior manager in a bank, so it's very plausible that she would be able to do that, right? further to that, what made it more believable, the car that I'm sure you've all seen was repossessed. That car retails for upwards of almost 2 million rands. So that car is not a cheap car. Okay. Kevin dresses very expensively. Right. And also the last thing, the house that he showed me was his house, which I have since learned is not his house. That house costs $1 million.
Okay. Hold
so
on.
for him, so just before you translate, for him to sell that story, it was so believable. His car was expensive, his house was expensive, he looked expensive, and he's a doctor. So obviously, I will get my money back when all the legal proceedings are concluded.
Ok. Elle est en train de dire, une fois dans la relation avec Kevin, Kevin a noté qu'elle a un rêve. Je suis un docteur. Je suis en train de traverser un divorce. La femme a confisqué ou bien la femme retient tout mon argent. Et Kevin a pris même des photos non existantes d'une maison. Elle a envoyé ça à cette dame. Regarde ma maison, c'est ça. Une fois que le divorce sera finalisé, j'aurai mon argent, je vais te rembourser. Comme tout Congolais dans cette live qui se respecte, vous-même, vous savez, Kevin aime bien s'habiller. Et puis maintenant, c'est la femme qui commençait à financer et voilà. Et puis, elle croyait vraiment en cet homme parce qu'elle dit déjà, ah, il s'habille bien comme ça, il ne peut jamais être un menteur ou soit quelqu'un qui est là juste pour l'argent. So I've just tried to explain about him, the dressing up and then selling you a dream story of him being a doctor and all the rest. So what happened from there?
Okay, so that was now going into December, right? That's around the time that Eunice had the baby. And also the pattern changed, right? The Kevin that I used to talk to before the divorce was now a lot more available. I mean, he used to come to my house almost every day. Okay, he used to come to my house and be in my house until midnight.
Every day.
I don't know any married man that can do that, right? And the times that he didn't come, he told me that, you know, I'm now a single father. I've been left the care of the 6-year-old. And then also, as we started to talk in October, that's when he told me about his older daughter. I've since learned that daughter does not exist. He spoke to me about a daughter called Lashwana, who at that time was 20 years old, finishing off her Bachelor of Commerce degree. Okay. And the reason why he explained why he could come and see me so often was because he said Lashwana was very happy to look after Dacia, right? And I would encourage him, no, go spend time with the kids today. I think you've seen me enough. Then he'd insist, no, I'll just come for a short while. I'll come and have lunch with you, and then I'll go home to be with the kids. Yeah. So the other reason why I gave him money was obviously now he doesn't have money. He's got 2 children that he's supporting. So I don't want the kids to be uncomfortable.
So hold on. He told you about a daughter that never existed. Is this
the
one
that does not exist?
The cake?
Yes, the one with the 21 birthday cake. Her name is Lashwana. According to him, her name was Lashwana, and they called her Lash for short.
Okay.
Yes, that cake you're showing is the cake I bought. I bought Lashwana for her birthday this last year.
I'll just share that cake photo. Ok, la photo que vous êtes en train de voir là, Kevin dit à madame, écoute, je suis père de 2 enfants, ma 2e fille s'appelle Lash. Et c'est son anniversaire. Je viens de vous partager même la photo. Là, maintenant, vous êtes en train de voir ça. Et elle part amoureuse qu'elle était. Elle fait même un gâteau. Mais je tiens à vous rappeler que cette fille de 21 ans, Lachi, n'existe jamais. Elle a fait un gâteau. Elle a envoyé des cadeaux. Elle m'a bombardé avec beaucoup de photos que je peux même pas tout partager. Mais si vous voulez, sans même en privé. Et maintenant, elle a appris que l'enfant n'existe pas. Écoutez d'abord ça, I'm just shocked. I don't know if you can see the screen. I'm just sharing now. I was having some trouble sharing photo. Now I'll be able to share everything you've given me on here. So, et puis elle a fait les gâteaux et tout pour Kevin. Comprenez que c'est quelqu'un qui est un docteur. Tu as l'espoir. Et maintenant, I'm going to explain how Kevin became available. Avant son divorce, Kevin venait chez sa copine quelque temps, hein, par exemple, même après 2-3 jours. Mais lorsqu'elle est divorcée, il a menti à sa copine qu'on est maintenant divorcé. Kevin venait chez elle presque chaque jour. Kevin était avec elle every other day. S'il ne vient pas lundi, il sera là mercredi. S'il ne vient pas mercredi, il sera là vendredi. Okay, so what's next?
Okay, so I bought, so that was December, right? And then he asked me to find him a flight to go to Kinshasa. He said that his parents insisted that he come home for Christmas with his kids, because it would be the first Christmas without the wife. So I went onto the website. I found seats on Rwanda Air. And then I don't know who gave him that money to buy those tickets, because I certainly didn't buy the tickets. And then he showed me his booking. And he flew out that Christmas. He flew out on Christmas Eve going into Christmas Day. Right? And he came to say goodbye to me that afternoon of Christmas Eve. And then I think we went to dinner on the 23rd, because I thought, he's going to be busy and then getting the kids ready for the flight. So we went to dinner on the 23rd of December, but he popped in to say goodbye on the 24th. And then he called me from the airport. He called me when he got to Rwanda, when he was in transit. And in Christmas Day, he called me, I think in the afternoon, he called me a couple of times. And then he was in Kinshasa for Christmas, right? Fast forward to the 29th, which I now know is the day he got engaged.
No, let's talk about the flights and everything, because I got some flight ticket that you sent me.
Okay, that ticket that you have, Adrian, is for the ticket that he had when he left to go and get married now.
So this about the Christmas, are you talking 2020 or 2019?
That's 2019 going into 2020.
Okay, hold on. Let me just try to translate that. So, ce qui s'est passé en 2019 vers le Noël, pas ce Noël que nous venons de passer, Noël 2019-2020, Kevin qui encore vient chez cette dame pour, de l'aide et tout, je vais voyager comme vous-même vous avez écouté, je vais partir à Kin parce que c'est notre première fois après le divorce, mes enfants vont passer l'air juste beaucoup de mensonges comme vous pouvez imaginer. Des fois d'ailleurs, mais comme vous êtes en train d'écouter, et aussi je demande aux anglophones qui sont dans cette vidéo live, si vous pouvez en même temps écouter, en même temps mettre aussi votre translation. Essayez aussi de mettre là, c'est que vous comprenez, ok? Parce qu'au même moment, je suis en train de chercher les photos et tout. Donc, et puis Kevin qui part au Congo. But do you think he really went in Congo at that time?
No, he did because on Christmas, on Boxing Day, so remember Christmas, I was with my own family. So I spoke to him a couple of times. And then the next time I spoke to him was the following day. He called me on video and he showed me, he was telling me, oh, this is the Congo River. Look there, you can see, what is it called? Point Noir?
Yeah, Point Noir. That's the
Congo, Brazzaville. He showed me the river. He was staying at the Rotana. I can't remember the name of that. Is it the Rotana?
I'm not sure. In a hotel.
He was staying in a fancy hotel. And I also wondered, for a person who's asking me for money, how a person who's owing lawyers' fees, how is he affording this? And I asked him. He says, no, my parents have sponsored my hotel. That's what he told me.
Okay.
At that time, Adrian, I had given him, by then I had lent him, it was now 90,000 rands.
How much is that equivalent in pound?
Let me calculate for you quickly.
Okay, people in the comment section can help us. Carry on so we don't lose track.
Okay, that's about $6,000 by then. Okay. So so he was very communicative, very available. On the 29th of December, we spoke in the morning and then he went offline the entire day.
Yeah.
Right? The next time I spoke to him was on the 30th.
So
and now the other reason I was looking for him was he had told me the day he came to say goodbye, he had told me that the money situation with Lesego had been resolved and that the bank had returned the money into his account.
Okay, let me try to translate there. Ok, Kevin qui est maintenant en Afrique d'ici, les photos que vous voyez là, ça vient fraîchement de la dame. Comment elle faisait les cadeaux à son amour. Comme vous voyez Kevin en cake, son anniversaire, elle faisait tout parce que Kevin était son homme, ok? Kevin qui part au Congo et puis qui appelle sa copine en vidéo. Genre, chérie, je suis bien arrivée. Écoute, et puis lui qui dit, comment est-ce que toi qui n'as pas d'argent, tu es vraiment dans un moment difficile? Comment est-ce que tu es dans ces genres d'hôtels de luxe? Là, vous allez comprendre qu'il était déjà en relation avec Acsa Olangi pendant ce moment-là. Mais il appelle sa copine et commence à montrer, regardez ici, on est dans les fleuves Congo, regardez de l'autre côté, ces pointes noires. Et puis maintenant, elle demande, comment est-ce que tu as fait pour trouver tout cet argent? Et lui qui vend encore une autre histoire, non, mes parents ont sponsorisé mon voyage. Donc, comme je suis là, j'ai des parents au Bazapena, moi, Bozui. Ils ont payé mon hôtel, ils ont payé tout mon séjour ici. Après avoir causé le jour-là, Kevin part offline les jours suivants. Kevin qui éteint son téléphone complètement. Là, je pense qu'il était en amour avec Acsa Olangi. Continue, ma belle. You can carry on then. Sure. Et hold on. Et pendant ces moments-là, Kevin avait sa dette approximativement des $6,000 qu'elle avait déjà emprunté à Kevin. OK? Et pendant tout ce temps-là, il y avait que des mensonges. Donne-moi ceci, je vais te rembourser. Mes parents ont de l'argent et tout et tout. You can carry on now.
So I thought that the reason why he was unavailable was because I was putting pressure on him to do my transfer. Right? And then initially he told me, no, his banker, he had this personal banker, the banker done the transfer and he's just waiting for the proof of payment so I could take that to my bank to track the payment. That proof of payment never came. So I thought he was holding back on communicating with me because he knows when I'm angry, I get very, very angry and he can't handle it, right? So I thought that's the reason why he's not answering my phone calls. He's not messaging me because he knows I'll ask, where's the transfer? Meanwhile, the man is getting engaged on the 29th of December. Now I know that that's the reason why he was offline. Okay. The next time I spoke to him was the 30th of December in the morning. That's when he told me, look, my cousin and I had an accident. I hurt my back. So I'm sorry, I took painkillers last night. That's why I was not able to answer your phone calls. I'm so sorry. Look, I'll follow up with the guy from the bank, but maybe we should do it in the new year because, you know, it's now the 30th, 31st. People are getting ready to celebrate New Year's. So maybe let's pick it up in the new year. If the money doesn't reflect now, please let me chase it either from the 2nd when the banks are open or when I come back to Joburg. Okay. That was now the 30th.
The 30th of December.
Of December 2019. Yeah, he was engaged to Acsa by then.
Just hold it there, can I translate? Alors, elle est en train de nous expliquer que lorsque Kevin avait éteint son téléphone, Kevin avait passé beaucoup, like 1 ou 2 jours sans communication avec elle. Et elle, maintenant, elle pensait que, peut-être il est en train de fuir son téléphone parce qu'il pense que je suis en train de demander mon argent. Vu que Kevin n'était pas en position de donner l'argent, c'est pourquoi Aoki m'a phone. Et lorsque Kevin a réouvert son téléphone, il a appelé sa copine en disant que non, il y a mon cousin qui avait fait l'accident, mon cousin patati patata et tout, c'est pourquoi j'étais incapable de répondre à tes appels et tout, Kevin qui explique. So now fast forward to the 31st of December. What happened then?
Fast forward, he said he's going to church with the family, and I found it very strange that he could send me a voice note, but he couldn't call me. And I even said so. I said, it's very strange. You can send me a voice note to say Happy New Year, but you can't call me. It's the same thing, right? He says, no, we're in church, so I just snuck out to go to the toilet. And I know you talk a lot, so I didn't want to get on the phone with you because then I'll have to cut you off and it won't be nice. So I thought, let me just send you a voice note. So he sent me a voice note, but on the 1st, he called me and we had a conversation.
Right.
Okay. Then he was supposed to come back on the 4th of January.
Now we're in 2020.
In 2020.
Yeah. Hold on a second. Maintenant, nous passons de 2019 en 2020. Et elle va vous expliquer en détail tout, même jusqu'avant le jour des mariages. Nous allons arriver vraiment rester là. Et elle est en train de dire tellement que Kevin était au Congo, il était en train de vouloir qu'Oki Mabafone naïe. Et puis, comme Azoki Mabafone, voilà, elle se disait seulement sûrement, elle n'a pas d'argent. Et puis Kevin qui lui dit, ne me mets pas la pression parce que je vais te rembourser, je vais te faire ceci, je vais te faire cela. Carry on.
Okay, but he said that he'd postponed his trip. He was going to come back on the 6th. And I remember that was a Monday. He arrived, I think he said to me, he's arrived safely. He's taking the kids back home and then he'll pass by quickly. I think I was washing my car that day. He came to see me at the car wash very briefly. And then he went home to rest. Okay. And then on Tuesday, I started pressing him for my money again. Right? Oh, no, don't worry, babe. I'm going to go to the bank and sort it out, etc. So he goes to the bank. Obviously, there is no bank. There is no money, right? And then he called me and said, look, it looks like there's a problem. I'm going to see my lawyer. Now, this lawyer, his name is Jason. I've never met him, never talked to him, right? But he's always sang about Jason the lawyer.
Jason.
Right? Jason.
Yeah. Okay.
And he said to me, Jason was an old white man who was referred to him by his lawyer that he used when he was living in France. Right? As far as I know now, Kevin's never lived in France.
Wow. Okay. Hold on. This is getting a bit too heavy now. It's getting hectic. Elle est en train de dire Kevin, Kevin, elle est en train de dire que Kevin, maintenant qu'il retourne en Afrique du Sud, il se croise avec elle, il cause et puis il dit que non, voilà, j'ai mon avocat maintenant qui s'appelle Jason. Retenez ce nom parce que ce nom va vraiment Obimsaba vérité. Et il dit, lorsque j'habitais en France, c'est mon ami qui m'avait aidé et tout. Maintenant, aujourd'hui, il est devenu mon avocat pour mon divorce. OK, so c'est son ami Jason qu'on est en train de parler maintenant. Mais cette photo que je vous montre, eza o ele kaka na mariage ya Acsa Olangi. Comme vous mona, mutazalaki ko sala ba makambo nyonso tout, ezalaki copine o yaza na phone. Ye mutakenda ko louer parce que mobali ayebisi ke nièce nanga azobala na Congo. Voilà comment biso basi to koma raswe bolingo elati biso. Can you carry on now, please?
Okay. So then he told me that Jason explained that there was a hiccup. The ex-wife wanted to negotiate terms before they returned the money. And so they would have to sit and negotiate. And once that was resolved, only then would the money be returned. He then proceeded now, because obviously now the money is still on the ex-wife's side. He proceeded to ask for more money.
Oh, right? Hold on. Et maintenant, il prend Jason pour que Jason puisse convaincre à la copine que non, écoute, on est en train de négocier. Comme ça, une fois que la négociation va finir, nous allons récupérer l'argent parce que l'argent se trouve dans les mains de sa ex-femme. La ex-femme aussi, elle est ici. We have Lesego on live. Hello, Lesego. You're listening to us. Et elle dit que la ex-femme qui a bloqué l'argent, lorsqu'elle va libérer ça, nous allons te donner, écoute, Kevin a beaucoup d'argent. Et pendant ce temps-là, tous ces moments-là, la copine était juste en train de financer, et elle était en train de financer Kevin et tous ses mouvements et les frais et tout ce que vous pouvez imaginer. So yeah, now he's telling you about the negotiation and the money going back and everything.
Correct. So now he says, look, I've got these kids and I've got no money. Please help me. So he would ask for, small quantities. I need some groceries. Can I have 8,000 rands? That's what, like $400, $500. And then he would say, look, I need to pay the lawyers again. Can I have $2,000? So I would give it to him. And I would also buy groceries. When I was buying groceries for myself, I would send him with a few things for the girls. Here at this stage, I thought that he had 2 daughters. I didn't know that the older daughter did not exist. Okay. And then also the other thing that helped him, I think in telling this lie, was I said to him, look, I think it's too early, because he kept saying, no, it's time for you to meet the kids. This living 2 lives is very hard for me. I have to split my time. And then I said, look, your ex-wife just left the house in October, right? It's only been 3-4 months. Can you let the kids settle down, get your divorce, your divorce come through, let it be served, and the papers come out, and then I can start meeting the family, right? So that also helped him, right? Because then it made it easier for him to say, look, I'm with the kids. I can't come to you now. Or I'm with the kids. You can't come to me today. Because the house that I've since learned that the house where I used to go and see him is not his house. That's not where he stayed.
So when did you learn the truth?
I learned the truth when Lesego went live after he got married to Acsa.
Let's not go too straight. Let's not go.
So that's when I learned. That's when I learned all that everything that he told me was a lie. So anyway, going back. So that was now February.
Let me try to tell people some translations there. So, comme vous êtes en train de voir, il dit à Kevin qui explique à sa nouvelle copine, écoute, comme je viens de me séparer avec ma femme, je pense que c'est une bonne idée que tu puisses voir les enfants, rencontrer mes 2 filles et tout et tout. Et puis elle qui dit, mais écoute, les divorces viennent de se passer il n'y a pas assez longtemps. Moi-même aussi, je suis une femme qui a divorcé. On peut d'abord donner le temps à ces enfants qui puissent d'abord s'habituer dans leur nouvelle vie avant que moi je puisse leur voir quand même. Je vais pas voir les enfants juste comme ça, mbang. Et c'est Kevin qui est en train de rassurer et assurer cette femme que non, je suis là pour toi. Je suis là libre pour toi. Si tu veux, viens, prends mes enfants et tout. Alors que c'était rien que des mensonges. You can carry on now after he was, trying to introduce the kids and everything to you.
So I said to him, no, it's too early for us to do that. But he was very available. So for me, it was very believable that at the beginning when we started talking, he was married, because then he couldn't talk after 8 on the phone. I didn't see him as often. And also I didn't want to encourage seeing him because he was still married. Right? But as soon as he told me that he's now divorcing, they're seeing the lawyers, and she's left the house, that's when we started getting serious. And we used to, as you can see from that picture, that's an outing we went out on. We used to have a date day every week where we would go somewhere outside the house.
So basically, you had a romantic relationship overall.
Yes, absolutely.
Donc, il est en train de dire que tellement que cet homme, avant son divorce, il ne répondait pas à son téléphone après 20 heures. Mais lorsqu'il a maintenant dit à sa copine qu'enfin je suis divorcée, ils étaient au téléphone chaque jour jusqu'à même à minuit. Et elle se pose maintenant la question, si les Sego étaient vraiment présents, comment cet homme venait chez moi vers minuit, 23 heures? Et la raison il rentrait chez lui à la maison, c'était juste pour retourner avec les enfants, vu que c'est un homme qui vient juste de divorcer et il va juste rentrer pour les enfants. C'est la raison auquel Kevin rentrait à la maison. Mais si ce n'était pas pour les enfants, il pouvait même dormir là. Et elle m'avait même dit lorsqu'on était au téléphone, d'autres fois, il sera fatigué et il oublie, il dort, il se réveille à minuit. Oh, le temps est qui? Et puis il part chez lui rapidement. Now you can carry on from there, please.
And then obviously he continued to come to me for help with money now and again. There's a time a cousin died in Congo. I'm not sure now whether it was his cousin or an Olangi cousin now, because I don't know anymore. At that time, I think I helped him with $3,000 to help with that funeral, because he said no one else wanted to help. I used to help him when Blandine's kids were in trouble, and they needed, I think there's a time one of them broke her arm, and he needed money to pay the hospital. I helped him with that money. So that's how the relationship went, right?
Oh, okay, hold on. Let me just translate there. Elle est en train de dire, il y a un moment que Kevin lui a dit, j'ai mon cousin qui vient de mourir. Hey, ma cousin Obino Bobo Marca. Mon cousin vient de mourir. Il y a personne dans la famille qui peut aider. Est-ce que tu peux me donner $3,000 parce que je suis la seule personne qui peut vraiment faire quelque chose pour Namatanga. Et puis elle a pris l'argent, elle a donné à Kevin encore $3,000. Elle continue à dire que même lorsque les enfants des Blandines étaient malades, elle était toujours présente pour ramener quelque chose, quoi, en fait. Et puis elle dit, c'était vraiment une relation amoureuse entre les deux. Ils sortaient chaque week-end. Kevin était chez elle chaque soir. Elle m'avait même envoyé une vidéo d'elle avec Kevin. Je suis pas sûre que je peux mettre une vidéo ici, mais je mettrai ça sur Instagram. Comme ça, vous allez voir après les lives. Vous pouvez venir sur mon story. Vous allez voir elle avec Kevin et tout et tout. So you can carry on from there then, please.
Okay. I remember in March, I don't know what was happening at the Olangi church. He asked us to watch an evening service. It was a Sunday. And I said to him, why do they go to church so late, right? Because in my part of the world, church is done in the morning. And I remember it was from like 6 o'clock at night. We watched it. I think it was on Canal CVV. I checked it on my phone the other time. And then he was showing me, you see, this is the big brother. That's Alain. That's David. That's so-and-so. That's so-and-so. Remember those cousins I told you about in December? The other one is she still hasn't come back with the baby. He also told me that the gospel singer, the cousin that's a gospel singer, she's asked him to have a conversation with her fiance, because the fiance is not happy about her celebrity lifestyle. Meanwhile, he's talking about himself. He was referring to Acsa. Now I know that. He was referring to Acsa, saying, oh no, now she's gone to Belgium. She's gone to sing in Belgium. Now she's singing in France. And the fiance is very unhappy about this. In fact, they're thinking about breaking up. And Acsa asked me to speak to him to see if I can advise him.
Okay, hold on. Let me just try to tell people what you're saying. Elle est en train de dire clairement que lorsqu'ils étaient en amour et Kevin lui dit, ah, j'ai ma cousine qui est quelqu'un qui est très influent au Congo, elle chante, ils ont une grande église, ils étaient là à la maison en train même de voir ou soit de regarder la télé, mettre leur cérémonie des cultes et tout, et elle dit, mais malheureusement ma cousine, elle a un fiancé, mais son fiancé n'est pas vraiment chaud par rapport à la vie célèbre qu'elle est en train de mener en ce moment même ici. Elle est partie en Bruxelles pour chanter et tout. Donc, comme elle est partie chanter là-bas, son mari n'est pas vraiment d'accord et son fiancé n'est pas d'accord et tout. Son fiancé ne veut pas qu'elle puisse être trop publique et son fiancé m'a même demandé de parler avec elle afin qu'elle puisse stopper si elle veut vraiment être fiancée à la personne. So, yeah.
Okay, so now I know that he was speaking about his ex now. Then we went into lockdown, right? But still, our relationship continued. He was actually even more present because now I was working from home full time. So he would come when he was ready. Lesejo found a set of my keys in his car when the car was being repossessed. Because he could come in and out of my house anytime he had keys. He's got keys.
You gave him your house key, right?
Yes. Lesejo found a pair of keys in her car, and she recognized them when she came through with Mamu the first time when I reached out to Mamu. They came together, And she said, look, I've found a set of keys that look exactly like that in Kevin's car. So he had keys. He would come and go. I started doing French lessons. He got me to start learning French. I used to do French lessons every Saturday for 2 hours. I could cook. I can cook fumbwa. I can make poulet amuamba. I can make makayabu. I know where to go and buy kwanga in Johannesburg because he loves his traditional food.
Oh my God. Let me just try to give people a bit more clarity on that one. Elle est en train de dire, grâce à sa relation, vu que la relation était vraiment bien, elle avait même mis confiance à Kevin. Et maintenant, nous sommes en 2020, mars 2020, confinement, lockdown, OK? Et maintenant, elle prend les clés de sa maison, elle donne ça à Kevin. Parce que Kevin, c'est son copain, en fait. Mobile, il est partenaire. Kevin qui a les clés de la maison. Kevin l'a même fait entrer dans une école pour qu'elle puisse apprendre les français. Elle a commencé à apprendre les français. Elle partait apprendre français des heures chaque semaine en Afrique du Sud. Elle a appris à préparer les makayabu. Elle a appris à préparer les poulets à mwamba. Hein? Elle a, merci na ba maman YouTube balambaka. Elle a appris aussi à faire, aller acheter le kwanga parce qu'elle a même dit que Kevin vraiment aime bien manger les fumbwa, makayabu, kwanga, poula, mwamba, bilo comme ça, ba congolais, on a boyebi. Elle était tout le temps.
Okay. I can make
Donc, Kevin était en train de préparer cette femme pour qu'il puisse vraiment devenir. So he was trying to prepare you into becoming his main, like, you know, wife, or if you like, and
That's
things.
what I thought, right? I thought he's now divorced, and he used to talk. He used to talk like that. You know, we went to look at houses because he said to me the house he said was their marital home, which I now know is not, that he used to have he couldn't sleep at night. So we started looking for houses. We would go house viewing so many times. I think we viewed over 10 houses. And he would say, no, look at the kitchen properly and make sure you're happy. Because as soon as the money clears, I'm going to definitely, we'll definitely choose something that you are happy with.
Wow. Donc, ils avaient investi vraiment dans cette relation. Ils partaient même à regarder les maisons. Ils ont visité 10 maisons ensemble. Et Kevin insistait. Je vais vous mettre la vidéo Kevin dans sa cuisine. Vidéo, on en tient sur mon story Instagram. Kevin était là en train d'insister. Regarde bien la cuisine parce que Kevin, il aime préparer. Il aime vraiment la cuisine. En tout cas, ça, moi, c'est à Kevin. If il faut qu'on ait beau lamba et tout et tout. So I think we're gonna move because you've given a bit more of your relationship with him. Can I just ask you a question? During this entire time, okay, as a woman, did you not see any red flag at any point of your relationship? Did you not doubt him at all? Did you not think like, oh, hold on, this man keeps on coming back for more money? Like, I know there were so many promises. He was telling you he's a doctor. He was telling you his family was sponsoring his holiday. He was telling you how he was going through a divorce. I can understand. But was you just under the illusion that did you not think, or did you, were you just believing in him, or did you have
I actually did, and I prayed and fasted about it. I fasted about it. And I remember I told him, I said, Kevin, I remember it was a Sunday, and I'd come back just before lockdown when we could still go to church. And I remember I came back from Mass, and I actually lit a candle about it and prayed over it. And I said to him that afternoon when he came to see me after church, I said to him, today I prayed, and I said to God, if this man is not for me, God, please remove him from my life. And he got very tense. Right? And then I thought, why are you showing me your face has changed? He says, no, but why would you even pray about something like that? I said, but why would I not? I mean, I've known you at that time, it was less than a year. I've given you all this money. And if you're not for me, I want God to show me a sign. And then the other thing I asked him, because he told me he's got lots of property. He even pointed out a complex where he said that he had 2 apartments there. Lesejo since confirmed to me that she owns a property there. And I said to him, okay, you've got all these properties. Where does the rental income go to? If she's taken all the money in your investment account and your personal check account, where does the rental property money go to? So he says, no. That's the money that we use for household expenses.
Okay, hold on. Adrian, can you ask her about Kevin's relationship with God? We'll come to that. Let me just try to explain to them the question I've asked you and then try to give them a bit more. Là, j'ai posé à la copine, pendant tous ces temps, dans la relation avec cet homme qui venait tout le temps en train de te demander de l'argent, qui venait tout le temps en train de te dire, ajoute-moi l'argent, donne-moi ceci, et tout, en tant que femme, est-ce que tu connais comment on a dit qu'il est en train de te tromper? Qu'est-ce qui se passe en fait? Elle dit, dans toute honnêteté, c'est une catholique, c'est une vraiment croyante catholique. Elle a dit, mon Dieu, je viens à peine je suis une divorcée, comme elle a expliqué au début du live. Je suis une femme divorcée. Jamais j'ai pas accepté tout, briser un couple d'autrui. Et elle a pris une bougie, comme vous avez écouté là, she took a candle, elle a pris une bougie un soir comme ça, après sa prière et tout. Elle a allumé la bougie, elle a prié toute la soirée, afin que Dieu puisse la révéler vraiment si Kevin était l'homme de sa vie. This part has just broken my heart. You even prayed about this and you had your candle, you were praying. So, elle a prié que Dieu puisse révéler la vraie face de Kevin. Et lorsqu'elle a prié et elle a informé Kevin, regarde, je viens de prier, Kevin a changé sa face. Kevin a commis mon attitude à bien. Et puis Kevin qui la demande vraiment pourquoi tu vas prier pour quelque chose de pareil. Et puis elle dit, moi je suis croyante. Pour moi en tout cas, je prie pour tout et sauf rien. OK? Et puis voilà. So I just explained how when you told him you were praying about this to see if God will reveal something to you, and then how he was asking you, why are you even praying about this?
Yeah. And then the other thing that really drew me to him, he sold himself as being very, very prayerful, very spiritual. I think the few times that we spent the night together, we would read the Bible in the morning together. And I like that, right? And I really wanted someone like that because that's the way I've been raised and the way I've raised my son. To reflect on God's word on a daily basis, morning and evening. And that drew me to him because he was that person.
Yeah.
The other thing that I didn't do, and I wish I had done now, because if I had done it sooner, I would have realized, I would have seen the lies. Okay. The one thing I didn't do was go through his social media.
You never went.
I didn't. I never went through his social media until right at the end. Right. And it used to irritate him that I'm on social media and I'm very active on social media. And anyone who has access to my number will see I have a very big family. We are very close. We celebrate life. We celebrate life together. I post a nephew, niece, brother, sister every single day. I'm celebrating a birthday literally every single day. Yeah. And I think he was concerned that I know too many people, right? But it didn't stop him going out with me. And we would go out and hold hands and hug in public. So that's why it was so believable that he was a free man.
Yeah.
I mean, we would go away overnight. He would come and spend the night at my house. But obviously I'm not often, because he said that he was home with the children. Okay. Which made absolute sense.
Voilà, elle est en train d'expliquer que, vu la situation et sa relation amoureuse, elle avait vraiment crié à l'histoire. Et même lorsque Kevin venait tout le soir et tout, pour elle, c'était vraiment l'homme de sa vie qu'il avait trouvé. Et puis, ils étaient en train de vivre la vie, même en public. Et elle explique aussi que tellement qu'elle est active, c'est une tantine que je vais vous dire, elle a presque 50 ans, mais elle connaît en tout cas les réseaux sociaux. Elle était là, mais curieusement, Kevin n'était pas content parce qu'elle utilisait les réseaux sociaux et tout. Donc, I think we're gonna now jump fast forward from when he allegedly went in America, okay? Let's try to keep the structure.
Perfect.
When he went to America, prior to him going in America, because that's where I think the story will get interesting. And then when he came back home, let's go to November 2020, or rather October or something. And then what was your relationship with him there and before he went Congo? And what did you know? And how did all of this? And then up to now, how much does he owe you? And then we're going to try to send a strong message about the money. And then you're going to talk to us, because up to now, a lot of people still in doubt that Acsa was aware of you, was aware of your relationship. And I've got some screenshot. I'm going to be sharing it as you speak, but I would like this to come from yourself. When did you get in touch with the girl? But so that we can be a bit more structured, I'd like you to start from before we went in America, okay? Hold on, let me just try to translate this, okay? Là, je suis en train de dire, elle va maintenant nous expliquer, parce que Kevin avait voyagé. C'est là où maintenant l'histoire devient intéressante. Il était parti comment on appelle ça, aux États-Unis. Ce qui est mensonge, c'est le moment où l'époque dont Acsa a été maintenant en Afrique du Sud. Elle va tromper sa copine et Lesego sera ici demain pour maintenant nous donner sa version. Elle veut vraiment vous parler encore parce qu'il y a beaucoup de trucs que vous ne connaissez pas de cette histoire. Elle a dit à sa copine, je pars en Amérique. Mais pendant ces temps-là, si vous partez même dans le vlog de la petite sœur de Acsa, vous allez voir, elle était en Afrique du Sud. Si Kevin Falaz a la full time avec Acsa, et à cause de moi, si copine naïe, que je pars en Amérique. Et maintenant, vous allez comprendre qu'est-ce qui s'est passé à partir de là. So, can you start from before we went in America? And the man borrowing and things.
He said this, right? Kevin told me from the beginning. Remember, I mentioned that he said he had a daughter called Lash.
Yeah.
Okay. He told me Lash was conceived while he was at university in France, right? Lash's mother is allegedly a white American woman whose father was the ambassador from the US to France at that time.
Oh my God, hold on. So the 21-year-old was a mixed race girl. Kevin qui dit que la fille qui avait 21 ans, je vous ai mis la photo tantôt là, la fille qui avait 21 ans, c'était une métisse et elle avait, elle était, on l'a accouchée lorsque Kevin était en France, ou bien ses parents étaient des ambassadeurs de France, mais en Afrique du Sud. Donc, Kevin Penzaka a la connexion. C'est les gâteaux que cette dame avait fait pour la fille de 21 ans. You can carry on.
Okay. Also, just to add that the gift I got Lash for this 21st birthday, Lash apparently shared a birthday with Lesejo, the 22nd of September. He took the gift, which was a pair of earrings that Lesejo now wears, right? And he gave the gift to Lesejo, yet he told me the gift I bought was for the daughter.
Wow.
And if you notice this background of where these balloons are, you can see that's my house. It's the same area where he's holding a cake on his birthday. It's the same staircase in the background. That's my house.
Can I just stop there? You have a very beautiful house. You have a beautiful house, okay? Elle est en train de dire que la photo, vous voyez, c'est sa maison. Moi, ça donne à moi mbongo. C'est sa maison, les gâteaux, les ballons que vous êtes en train de voir, c'est ce qu'elle avait fait pour la fille qui a 21 ans, mais cette fille n'existe pas, mais curieusement, c'était le jour de l'anniversaire de l'Essego. Donc, Kevin avait ramené les cadeaux des boucles d'oreilles en or, en argent, je ne sais pas si c'est en or ou en argent, qu'elle avait acheté pour la fille, ok, de son copain, mais Kevin était parti donner ces cadeaux-là à l'Essego. Est-ce que vous comprenez vraiment, même si vous voyez cette photo, regardez la photo qui sort. Maintenant, regardez la photo lorsque Kevin avait fêté ses 40 ans. Vous allez voir que c'est la même maison, it's the same background. Kevin Azaki Kokyobu Kanabilanga. Hey, ya Willy Mouché, Nzambe. Now that, you know.
That's Lash's mom, right? So, fast forward to October last year, right?
Yeah.
He said to me, Lash would like to go and vote. Remember, Lash is American, her mother's American. This Lash that doesn't exist, guys.
Yeah.
Okay. Lash would like to go and vote. Remember, America had their elections on the 3rd of November last year.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So Lash is flying with Dacia to go to Lash's mom in Los Angeles to place her vote in person.
This is funny. Okay.
And I remember he came to my house. It was Sunday. I was hosting my friends. It was Sunday, the 25th of October. And he said his kids were flying. They were flying on the Monday. And my friends were here at my house. And I distinctly remember him saying, no, I need to leave now, ladies. Have a nice afternoon. I'm going to help my daughters pack. They're flying out tomorrow.
Donc, en fait, la fille qui n'a jamais existé de 21 ans, excusez, elle est américaine. Parce que j'avais dit française, mais américaine en fait. Kevin qui lui dit, on est maintenant au mois de novembre, élection en Amérique. Ma fille va partir voter en Amérique. Donc, elle est la petite fille de 6 ans qui existe. Hein. J'ai pas mis encore sa photo. Et elle dit que elle avec sa petite sœur vont partir en Amérique. Donc, ce soir-là, ils étaient ensemble dans la maison. Et puis, il dit, désolé, je dois partir pour accompagner ma fille à l'aéroport parce qu'elle va partir à Los Angeles voter. OK.
That was end of October. Yeah, the 25th was a Sunday. My friends were here. We were having a tea party. We had a little picnic in my garden, and then he said his daughters were going to America on the Monday.
Yeah.
Right? So Monday, the daughters went to America, allegedly. They flew Air France, according to him. And, you know, now and again, I'd ask him questions because, you know, at the back of my mind, I was thinking, okay, there's always something happening in his family. His father's in hospital. His father's sick. Blandine's daughter's broken her arm. His cousins died. There's always something happening. And every single day, right? And I don't know, when you speak to Leseko, you can ask her this. There was a family meeting. And I believe now those family meetings were to discuss the wedding. Now, I don't understand Lingala, but I can understand French.
Yeah, because you
right? I can understand French. I did French when I was in high school, and I had started doing French lessons so that I could communicate better with him.
Yeah. Okay, let me also try to explain. En fait, elle dit maintenant, elle commençait à se poser les questions. Ah, dans la vie de Kevin, il y avait toujours des événements. Il est parti à Kim. Son cousin est mort. Son papa à l'hôpital. La fille de Blandine qui a cassé sa jambe. Sa fille qui part au USA. Il vient de divorcer. Toujours envie. Il avait besoin de l'argent. Elle se pose maintenant des questions. Et aussi, Kevin lui avait dit, ils avaient des meetings de famille presque chaque soir. Et maintenant, elle dit, lorsqu'elle pense à ça, peut-être parce qu'ils étaient en train d'organiser leur mariage, ok? Parce qu'il y avait l'organisation du mariage qui s'est passée. Et elle a dit que je puisse demander les Sego, parce qu'on sera live avec les Sego ici demain, même heure, qu'elle puisse nous dire pourquoi Kevin, à tout prix, il était parti et pourquoi il avait des meetings dans la famille, réunion à famille. Mais elle dit maintenant, lorsqu'elle pense à tout ça, c'est que il était en train de préparer son mariage avec Acsa Olangi. Okay. So now that they traveled,
so the kids are now in America. He's very available. Okay. The kids come back from America on, I think, November the 6th,
Yeah.
according to him. Okay. That weekend, I didn't see him because he said, I'm with the kids, I'm busy with the kids. And then he told me that something bad had happened with the kids while they were in America.
Oh my, always something happening.
Sorry?
I said there's
always something happening, right? So then he told me I think he came to my house on Monday. I'm trying to remember the date now. I think it was like the 8th or the 9th of November. Then he said to me, look, something happened with Darcy when she was in America with Lash. I am thinking of going to America, right, to sort it out. Now, remember, he's told me that Lash's mom is now remarried. He never married Lash's mom. Lash's mom is married now to a white American man, and she's had her own children. So when the kids went to America, according to him, they were staying with Lash's mom, right? And that Monday when he came to my house, he explained that the stepdad, Lash's stepdad, had hit Darcy.
What?
That's what he said to me. So he got on a plane. He got on a plane on the 11th of November.
To go and sort out the abuse.
Go and sort out the stepdad. No one touches my children.
Let me just try to break this down because this is some big damn lies. So, Kevin qui dit à sa copine, écoute, lorsque mes enfants ils étaient partis en vacances en Amérique, tellement que Darcy et ma petite fille, elle était partie avec sa grande sœur Nash qui n'a jamais existé. Lorsqu'ils sont arrivés là-bas, parce que la maman de Nash est maintenant mariée à un blanc, ce blanc a tapé ma fille. Donc, Nash, qui n'a jamais existé, qui est parti en Afrique du Sud, qui est parti aux États-Unis pour voter, elle était partie avec sa petite sœur Darcy. Et lorsqu'ils sont arrivés là-bas, la maman de Nash qui s'est remariée à un blanc, et les blancs là avaient tapé la petite que vous voyez dans la photo. Et puis lui qui dit, moi personne ne peut mettre la main, personne ne pose la main sur mon enfant, je prends l'avion, je m'en vais en Amérique pour rendre compte et règlement. Wow, this is too much. So he's on his way to America.
He left on the 11th, and I think I've shared these messages with you so you can see. He gets on the plane. He was flying on Qatar Airways. He was flying through Doha. And then, but funnily enough, he was online. Then I thought, okay, now most airlines have online Wi-Fi. I travel a lot. I know that. And then he gets to Los Angeles. He sends me a message. I've arrived. I'm going straight to Sean's house to sort this out. So he does that. And then a couple of times when he'd phone me and say, oh, I'm going out to lunch. And I'm thinking, but in LA right now, it should be like 9 o'clock. So you should be saying breakfast. Why are you saying lunch? Yeah. And I asked him, why are you saying lunch? Surely you should be saying you're going to breakfast. Yeah. And then he said, oh, yeah. Sorry, babe. You know, it's the jet lag. I'm still tired. You know, my time difference. I'm not looking at the clock properly, etc. Right? Yeah. Then he also told me the other reason why he went to America was because he was trying to sort out his US citizenship by virtue of the fact that he has property. He has an apartment, a penthouse apartment in New York, according to him. By virtue of the fact that he has property in the US, he can claim citizenship, and by virtue of the fact that his daughter's American, he can claim citizenship. So I've got a message here saying, oh, sorry, babe, I'll call you. I'm just leaving immigration office now. Then he was allegedly in New York. He's moved from LA to New York, right?
Okay.
Then he gets on the plane.
Let me just break this down. Kevin qui arrive au USA parce qu'il est parti taper l'homme blanc qui avait tapé sa petite fille, si vous voulez, et qui partait maintenant dans des lunchs. Lunch, c'est comme je vous ai dit, je ne sais pas si c'est souper ou dîner, mais c'est qu'on mange là à 12 heures. Et il va écrire à cet homme que non, à cette copine que non, je suis arrivée, je pars prendre quelque chose à manger. Et puis celle-ci qui dit, mais comment à tout le temps tu me dis que tu es parti pour lunch, alors qu'en ce moment, ce n'est pas lunch, tu dois prendre ton petit déj et tout, parce qu'elle check même les temps. Maman Aza penza makas na net. Elle sait que dans cet état, il fait exactement cette heure. Et il dit, ah non, comprends-moi, j'oublie souvent et tout. Donc, et puis il dit, comme j'ai acheté une maison ici en Amérique, encore des mensonges, j'ai acheté une maison en Amérique et que ma fille aussi, c'est la fille qui n'a jamais existé, que vous voyez son gâteau d'anniversaire, et que ma fille aussi, c'est une Américaine. Donc, les Américains doivent me donner, elle vient de m'envoyer les photos, donc je vais vous mettre les screenshots. Elle dit maintenant que les Américains vont me donner la nationalité parce que ma fille est américaine et moi aussi, j'ai acheté une maison ici. So he told you about him having a house in America, and that he's going to get citizenship in America. Yeah. And then what happened from there?
So then he gets on a plane and he's coming back, right? So this is now the 17th, because he arrived back in South Africa on the 18th.
Yeah.
Right? So he tells me I'm boarding now, right? And I know because I've flown that route. From New York to Doha or Dubai, it takes at least 12 and a half, 13 hours. Okay. Yeah. That day, when he told me he's getting on the plane, they're taking off now, to the time he says, I've just landed in Doha, that was 6 hours.
So he's a lie. You knew it wasn't.
Yes. So then I knew something was off, right? I knew something was off then. And I think, and I didn't call him on it. I didn't call him on it. The other thing, I was being careful, right? Because I know it was around the time I was also asking for my money. So we had a little bit of a fight when he was in the US, right? And he would not respond to my messages as he normally does. I'm just trying to see what you've posted here. Is this
the screenshot when in November 2020?
Oh yes, he says he's on SA time because I'm asking him, why are you still awake? He says my body's on SA time, but I'm falling asleep now.
People can see that. Donc, elle est en train de dire, lorsque Kevin maintenant voulait rentrer en Afrique du Sud, Kevin qui lui dit, maintenant je vais rentrer, et Kevin qui devrait vous prendre son vol. Where was he traveling from and to?
He was leaving New York to come back to South Africa, but he was flying Qatar, so he had to transit through Doha.
OK, donc voilà. Kevin qui quitte New York pour venir à Qatar, il devrait faire le transit. Et la dame qui dit, elle aussi, elle a même voyagé dans cette route-là. Ça prend 13 heures de vol. Mais elle avait déjà regardé tout. Donc, elle regarde tout sur Internet. Donc, curieusement, Kevin qui vient de décoller à New York pour faire transit à Doha. Je ne sais pas si l'aéroport là se trouve où, mais Kevin qui lui écrit 6 heures plus tard que je suis arrivée. Elle connaissant, elle dit non, ça prend 13 heures du temps. Comment est-ce que tu es arrivée si vite? Mais elle dit, maintenant, elle commençait à être un peu prudente parce que Kevin avait son argent. Même lorsque Kevin commençait à mentir, elle ne voulait plus confronter Kevin trop. Et tout. So you didn't want to start confronting him.
So I didn't want to start confronting him because I wanted to keep him in a good mood so he could tell me where my money was.
Okay, that's fine. Now,
so that's why I didn't press him on that detail.
Yeah, now
because I know him. When he's put in a corner, he retreats. He steps back and he won't interact.
Yeah.
Okay. So then he lands.
Go on.
So the first time, I think I've sent you a screenshot. The first time he told me that his father was sick.
Okay, let me just put the screenshot up. Les gens prenaient les photos screenshots, yeah? Comme ça, tellement qu'il y en a de trop, il y en a vraiment de trop. Même peut-être moi, je peux oublier, mais Vous allez voir ça, prenez ça. Je vous ai dit, cette vidéo, vous pouvez même mettre ça dans vos chaînes, repartager ça pour que tout le monde puisse voir. People who are watching this, you can share the link, you can download this video, you can upload it on your YouTube channel. We want this to get like, you know, a vast and to touch a lot of people. So you didn't want to start pressing on too much on him, yeah?
Yes, I was playing nice. And that's the first time he told me I'll be in South Africa tomorrow, which was the 18th. And that's the first time he told me his father was in trauma.
Trauma. Wow.
Yeah, his father was in hospital and he was critical.
Okay,
I mean, if you can point to the message there where it says, I'm on the phone with Congo, babe. The reason I'm quiet is because my dad is in trauma.
Wow. Vous voyez?
But I will be in SA tomorrow. I'll be in SA tomorrow, my love, at the airport. I know I will be there tomorrow evening. Love you lots.
Là, Kevin qui répond à sa copine, je suis au téléphone avec les gens du Congo. La raison, je suis un peu froide, c'est parce que mon papa est en coma, trauma. Trauma en français, c'est quoi? Aidez-moi aux commentaires. Mon papa est en trauma, but I will be in SA. Je serai en Afrique du Sud demain, mon amour. Je suis à l'aéroport et puis elle dit, je serai là, donc en Afrique du Sud demain, je t'aime beaucoup. Et puis elle qui met les emojis en train de pleurer. Why didn't you say though, babe? Pourquoi tu ne m'avais pas dit en tout cas? Parce qu'elle commençait déjà à faire pression pour son argent et tout et tout. Et puis elle dit, je suis très désolée, I'm sorry to hear about that is not well. Je suis désolée d'apprendre que ton papa n'est pas bien. Okay, next.
So then that's when he got on the plane in New York. He did the 6-hour flight to Doha. Yeah. And then and then he got the connecting flight. Those hours added up. He got on the flight at 10 o'clock South African time in the morning. And he landed here at about 7 o'clock in the evening, which is about right? When he got here, he called me when he was in the car and we spoke for a while. I'm here. I'll see you tomorrow. I'm so happy to be home. I'm going to go home, get some rest, see the girls. So that was now the 18th of November, right? On the 19th, he called me in the morning and he says, I'm sorry, babe, I won't be able to see you today. I just need to spend some time with the girls, meaning the fake daughter and Dacia. And then also now my mom has told me that my dad needs medication. So I'm going to go to see my old friend who's a physician, Dr. Bloy, and get him to write a script. He said to me, and I said to him, can't you just write the script? And I remembered, no, he can't write the script because their names are the same.
So at that time, you were still believing he was a doctor?
Yes, I had no reason not to believe him. The other thing I forgot to mention, he said he was consulting for the WHO as part of the committee assisting South Africa with the COVID situation.
Okay, so la dame qui dit Kevin atterrit en Afrique du Sud à Copine aéroport. Kevin qui dit ma chérie, écoute, tellement je viens d'arriver avec le news que mon papa ne se porte pas bien, vraiment, je vais partir vite fait voir mes enfants, je vais pas te voir ce soir, hein, et voilà, et je suis en communication avec un autre docteur qui doit prescrire les médicaments à mon père. Et elle demande maintenant, toi qui es docteur, pourquoi tu ne prescris pas les médicaments à ton père? Et Kevin qui ment en disant que non, je ne peux pas lui prescrire parce qu'on a les mêmes noms. Moi, je m'appelle Kaseya, lui aussi s'appelle Kaseya. Mieux vaut que mon ami puisse faire la prescription au lieu que moi, je puisse vous faire la prescription. Les gens qui ont commencé la vidéo au départ, vous vous rappelez comment il avait même dit, il donnait conseil pour qu'on puisse faire césarienne à Nice, comme je vous ai proposé. Mais lorsqu'il s'agit de son papa, il dit qu'il part chercher les renforts de son ami. Parce qu'il dit, moi, je ne peux pas prescrire. Oh my God, this is getting too deep. Let's move on.
Okay, so that day, that's a Thursday, the 8th, Thursday, the 19th, right? He's busy running around getting the script, and then he had to find a way to send it. He called me that evening saying, look, I've managed to send the medicine. DHL are able to help me. So mom will collect it from the airport tomorrow in Kinshasa.
Yeah.
Okay. And then he said to me, I'll see you tomorrow. And I think you have the message he sent me where he says, look, I'll be at your place at 8. Please, I'll need a massage. I'll need breakfast.
Oh my God. I don't have that message.
So it's the one I sent you that's got the tickets, that's got his ticket for when he went for the wedding.
Okay, because I have so many screenshots. Let me try to dig.
Want me to resend it?
Okay, resend me now so it's fresh and I can just upload it.
Okay. So that was the evening. No, so that Friday, the 20th, he came to my house, and he got here really early. And he spent most. So he had breakfast, he had lunch. I'd made him pulea muamba for his return. He had that for lunch, and then he had a second helping before he left. I've sent it to you again. And then during the time while he was here, he said to me, oh, look, he was upstairs, upstairs in my room. I was in the kitchen making breakfast. He said to me, look, babe, they sent me a ticket. They sent me my ticket.
Okay, that's where it gets interesting. Yeah. Donc là, elle dit, une fois que Kevin est arrivé, Kevin qui lui dit, chérie, écoute, je suis arrivée, j'ai tout fait, j'ai envoyé les médicaments à Kinshasa. Maintenant, c'est parti à travers DHL. DHL va délivrer ça, va livrer les médicaments, espérant que papa va se porter bien. Je suis gravement fatiguée après tout ça. Lorsque je serai là, prépare-moi quelque chose de bon. Et puis, lorsque je serai là, en tout cas, je vais que tu puisses me faire un bon massage, qu'on puisse passer un bon moment, quoi. Après, elle qui a préparé dans la photo, vous voyez, elle écrit poulet à Mwamba, waiting for you, je t'attends, welcome commitment, making preparation to welcome the prodigal tiger. Hey, vraiment, binomo botanga na zubongisa, pona royamba mobile nanga et tout ça là. Hope this cheers you up. J'espère que ce que j'ai préparé, comment est-ce que je vais t'accueillir ce soir, ça va vraiment te faire du bien. Et puis lui qui écrit, wow, thanks, babe. Donc, il était vraiment surpris de la surprise. Et puis, il dit, voilà, merci, baby. So, we're going to progress from Thursday, 17th of November. He comes home. And then, yeah.
So, Friday he came. There's a screenshot I sent you with the ticket. So he sends me the ticket and he says, look, they sent me a ticket. They bought me a ticket. So I asked him, who is they? And he said, no, remember my dad is critical in hospital. So Tazi, my sister Tazi, is looking after the money, the family money. So Tazi bought me the ticket.
Okay. So this is the
other thing I asked him. So it's just look around this message, you'll see the message where the ticket is. And then I asked him, but why is it one way? Why is your ticket one way? Because the ticket was one way. So he says, no. Also remember, I don't know how long it's going to take for my dad to recover. Right? But I don't think I'll be gone for more than 4 to 5 days. See, this is the message he sent me on Friday, and that's the ticket there with the highlights.
So, alors maintenant, nous sommes vendredi le 20 novembre. Kevin prépare son mariage. Kevin va aller à Kinshasa. Elle dit à sa copine, on vient de m'envoyer mon ticket. Elle qui s'étonne en disant les tickets, qui t'a envoyé les tickets? Il dit non, ça vient de ma sœur. Et voilà, mon père, comme il est malade, et moi, je dois aller au Congo, et tout, et tout. Donc, je vais vous mettre ces tickets dans mon story. Comme ça, vous allez voir que c'était un ticket acheté par sa femme maintenant, parce que ils étaient en train de planifier leur mariage. So he gets the ticket. You're a bit worried and
ticket.
concerned.
And then at that stage, I am also concerned. He actually sat when he was having his lunch. He asked me, because he knows my father's late, right? He asked me, how did you cope? How did you help your mom through the grief when your dad died? I'm really scared. You know this. My father's been sick and in hospital so many times since we've been together, but this is the first time he's asked for me to come. So I have to go to Congo.
So he was being very vulnerable at this point.
Yes. And, so I gave him advice about what we did to help mom and what I did for myself to help with my grieving process.
Mm-hmm.
And he knows, I mean, since my dad's been gone, this year will be 24 years. My dad's passed, and every year on his anniversary, it still feels like it happened that day. And he knows, he's seen me in tears on the 28th of August every single year.
Ok, là elle dit, Kevin qui dit, écoute chérie, je vais voyager, mon père est mourant. Est-ce que toi, comme elle aussi, elle a dit que son père est mort, explique-moi d'abord chérie, comment est-ce que tu avais traversé cette drame de perdre ton papa? Parce que moi j'ai peur de perdre papa, vu que, je ne sais pas comment je vais réagir si en tout cas mon papa est mort aujourd'hui. Et elle qui commence à dire, ah, tu sais, moi, depuis que j'ai perdu mon papa aussi, ça n'a jamais été la même chose, quoi. Ma vie a changé. Chaque jour de l'anniversaire de sa mort, je pleure. Et puis, elle qui commence à consoler son copain, ne t'en fais pas, papa va se porter bien et tout, parce que Kevin commençait à devenir très triste pour son papa. Alors que dans les photos de mariage, papa n'était même pas malade. Tandis que comme ça, papa va pas malade. Et now that he's telling you about the father and everything, were you guys together at that point?
Yes, he's in my house. He's sitting in my house as we're talking about this.
Okay.
Right. And then he says, at that time, I also asked him, before we spoke about the father's death, I gave him his phone and I said, babe, please log onto your banking app and transfer my money. And then he says, no, babe, there's so many people I need to pay before I go to bed tonight. I've got a list on my desk and I've got all the details. Please, can I just do it all at once? And then also, I didn't want to put too much pressure because remember, this is a man who's stressing about his father that's not well. His father could be taking his last breath in that time. And I didn't want to put too much pressure. Plus, it's money, guys. He's owed me for a year. A couple of more days is not going to hurt, right?
Yeah.
That's what I thought at the time, right? As he was leaving that day, I thought, oh my gosh, this man must really be very sick. Because what he did was, at the door, he gave me a hug and a kiss, and he held on to me for longer than he normally does, right? Then he got in the car, he opened the garage, he reversed a little bit, stopped the car, got out of the car, came to give me another hug. Got back in the car, got out of the car again. So he did it like 2 or 3 times.
Oh my God.
That's when I got really scared, thinking, okay, this father, this might be it for the dad.
Wow. Okay, let me explain. Elle est en train de dire, le jour où Kevin était en train de quitter sa maison pour voyager avec Acsa, elle était avec elle. Elle est venue et dit, mon papa est mourant. Je dois partir au Congo. Il vient, il embrasse sa copine. Il prend les clés, il prend ses valises pour partir. Il entre dans la voiture. Il redescend. Il fait marche en arrière à la voiture. Il vient encore, il embrasse sa copine. Et elle dit que la façon que Kevin était en train de l'embrasser, Kevin ne l'a jamais embrassé pareil. Kevin qui la tenait très fort dans ses mains. Il l'embrasse, il dit, vraiment, je ne sais pas combien de jours je pars, mais je vais revenir. Et puis, cette dame a maintenant eu très peur en disant que, oh mon Dieu, j'espère que son papa n'est pas mort. J'espère que son papa ne serait pas mort, vu l'état que Kevin était. Et Kevin est entré dans la voiture la deuxième fois. Il a conduit, juste voulant de sortir de la maison. Il est encore rentré pour réembrasser sa copine. Kevin qui peut même vous écrire un film. So he gets
So
back.
then he goes home. He goes home. And then he phoned me. He's now in a very good mood. He phones me and he says, "Oh, hi, just got my COVID results. I'm all clear." Right? Because remember, now you have to show your COVID results before you get on a plane. Right? And then I said to him again, "Babe, please don't forget me. When you get home, please do my transfer."
Yeah.
Right? He says, "No, of course I won't forget you. Don't worry, babe. I've got you. I've got you." Right? So then says good night. Going into Saturday now, if you look at the flight details, his flight was taking off, I think it was 6:50 in the morning.
Can you resend me the because I'm overflowing?
You had it on just now, love. You had it on just now.
Oh, okay. The flight. Oh, yeah, because you had it separate. But that's fine. I'll put it on my Instagram later.
Okay. You had it on. So if you look, the flight was leaving, I think it was 6:50 or 7 o'clock in the morning. So I knew he had to be at the airport like 4 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
Now with COVID protocols and all that, you need to be at the airport at least 3.5 hours before. So I got up. He had told me, "No, you can't drive me to the airport because it's before dawn." And here in South Africa, there's lots of carjackings that happen of people driving from the airport at funny hours.
Yeah.
Okay, so it made sense, right? I'm thinking, oh, what a caring boyfriend. He says, "No, you can't take me to the airport. Don't worry. We'll get a taxi or I'll ask one of my male friends to drive me." Right?
Yeah.
So I get up, I set my alarm and I call him 3 o'clock in the morning just to check on him to see how dad was overnight. Are you ready? Have you got your passport? Travel safely. I called at 3 o'clock, 3:30, 4:30, 5:30. And then I fell asleep again. By the time I woke up, the flight had already taken off. So I sent him a couple of messages thinking, okay, he was flying through Togo, right? When he gets to Togo, I think he had about an hour, 45 minutes transit time. I'm sure he'll switch on his phone and check in, right? So I had already started getting anxious, and I was anxious thinking something had happened regarding his father.
Okay, let me try to translate because there's quite a bit there. Et maintenant, Kevin qui part, après les genres des embrassements et tout, Kevin qui prend son avion, la copine qui dit, pourquoi je ne t'amène pas à l'aéroport moi-même? Je suis vraiment concernée parce que tu as ton père qui est presque mourant, ton état n'est pas bien, laisse-moi te ramener à l'aéroport parce que l'avion quittait l'Afrique du Sud à 5 heures. Acsa, si tu es en train d'écouter, ça, ce sont les détails que tu dois vraiment vérifier, ok? Donc, l'avion quittait très tôt le matin, en novembre, lorsque Kevin partait à son mariage. Et maintenant, la copine dit que je te ramène à l'aéroport. Kevin a boy, Kevin qui dit non, tu ne peux pas m'accompagner, vu que en Afrique du Sud, on vole beaucoup de voitures. Je ne veux pas que ta voiture puisse être volée lorsque tu vas me ramener à l'aéroport. Je préfère que tu puisses dormir. Je vais demander à mon ami qui puisse m'accompagner à l'aéroport. La copine qui dit d'accord. Kevin qui est parti. Il arrive à l'aéroport, la copine avait tous les détails de son vol. La copine qui regarde, ok, l'avion va atterrir à Botswana et puis Botswana-Kinshasa. Et elle regarde, elle voit que Kevin n'était pas connecté sur WhatsApp. Kevin n'était pas connecté sur WhatsApp. Et lorsque Kevin n'est pas connecté, elle se dit, ah, sûrement il est fatigué, peut-être il n'est pas connecté, parce qu'il a appris un mauvais nouvelle que son papa est mort. Elle était vraiment inquiète. Elle n'a pas pu dormir toute cette journée-là. Kevin qui ne prenait pas son téléphone. Elle écrit, est-ce que tu es arrivé? J'ai vu que l'avion a déjà atterri à Botswana. Est-ce que tu as quitté Botswana pour Kinshasa? Tout et tout. Tout ça, j'ai les messages parce que j'ai beaucoup de messages. Après, cette histoire, ça donne mal à la tête et tout. Donc, Kevin qui ne répond pas. So, take it from where he was not responding to your messages.
Okay, so he was flying through Togo. So I thought when he gets to Togo, he'll check his phone. Yeah. Also, the one thing with Kevin, he's a communicator.
Yeah.
He would tell me, I'm up now, I'm going to shower now, I've had my breakfast now, I'm putting on my left shoe. I mean, I'm being a bit flippant, but that's the level of communication he gave me. Okay, so I was very worried that he didn't check in when he got up. He didn't tell me he got to the airport. He didn't tell me he's getting on the plane. He was just quiet. Okay.
Yeah.
He gets to Togo, that 1 hour, 45 minutes, the phone is still not, the messages are not delivering, which means he didn't switch on his phone. Then, according to the ticket, I saw that he was supposed to land in Congo around 6 o'clock South African time. I think it was 6 or 7 o'clock South African time.
Yeah.
So I started watching the messages to see, is his phone coming on? Nothing came on. Then at that stage, I'm like super frantic now because I'm thinking, has his father died? What's happened? But something kept telling me something is wrong, people, something. And my intuition is normally on steroids. So if I feel something like that, I need to listen to it.
Yeah.
Right? So I tried to stay calm. I went to get some food. I had some supper, went upstairs, took a shower, got ready for bed. I couldn't relax. That's when I thought, no, Chipo, something is off here. His messages are still not still not delivering. Something is not okay.
OK.
So,
donc, elle dit que lorsque Kevin était en train de voyager, elle tient à vous signaler que Kevin, c'est un homme qui communiquait vraiment bien, qui communiquait avec elle à tout moment. Kevin qui voyage, elle envoie des messages WhatsApp. Les messages sont livrés, mais les messages ne transforment pas en bleu. Comme vous savez, lorsque quelqu'un lit ton message, ça devient bleu. Le message ne transmet pas en bleu et elle commence à s'inquiéter. Kevin qui est arrivé, il voit que Kevin était online, mais Kevin qui ne répond pas. En ce moment-là, en tant que femme, elle commençait maintenant à avoir l'intuition, bien l'instinct. Elle dit son instinct ne ment jamais. Elle commence à se poser la question, quelque chose ne va pas ici. Cet homme a toujours communiqué, mais ça va faire beaucoup de temps, il ne communique pas. Et maintenant, elle commence à faire des investigations. So from when you start thinking about that, something is fishy.
This is now the 21st of November.
Yeah.
It's around 2200 hours.
Yeah.
Okay. That's when I thought, no, go and look, right? So now remember, Kevin doesn't have Facebook. His WhatsApp is off. His phone is off, so I can't call him. So I went onto his Instagram, right?
Yeah.
Instagram where he hasn't posted any pictures. At that time, it was still a public account. So I started going through his followers one by one. Okay. I think Acsa was probably the 9th or 10th name of the followers list, right? Yeah. And it never even registered, right? He'd spoken about this gospel singer, but he'd called her Sophie. He told me her name was Sophie. So the first picture on her Instagram that day, the 21st of November, and I think she had just posted that picture, was the picture, their pre-wedding photo with them in white shirts and jeans, and it was taken from the back.
Okay, let me try to find that picture. Meanwhile, I'm going to try to translate. So, elle est en train de dire, lorsque Kevin ne répondait plus, elle commence à se poser des questions. Pourquoi cet homme ne répond plus? Elle s'est dit maintenant, je dois faire mes investigations. Elle tient à vous rappeler que Kevin n'a pas Facebook. Kevin avait seulement Instagram. Elle entre dans le compte de Kevin. Elle commence à chercher les listes de ses amis sur Instagram. Et la première photo, Acsa était la 8e personne dans les listes d'amis que Kevin était en train de suivre. La photo que je viens de vous mettre, c'est la photo qu'elle avait vue sortir ou apparaître dans la display, profil de Acsa Olangi. C'est maintenant que l'histoire va devenir intéressante. Elle ouvre maintenant le compte de Acsa Olangi. So now you have landed in Acsa Olangi's Instagram account. What happens there?
And then that's the first picture, that picture of them from the back. That's the first picture I saw.
Yeah.
And I knew that was Kevin. I could see it's him. You know, when you know your person, I could see
You
that's
know
Kevin.
the man, yeah.
I was like, what? What is this? And
Yeah.
then I call my sister and I'm like, sis, please go look at this person's Instagram. She calls me back. She says, what is happening? So I said, well, it clearly looks like Kevin's gone to get married because this says pre-wedding shoot. And then that's when I started digging, right? If you look at the picture above, so these are messages I sent to Kevin. That's when I started digging. I went to her Facebook account. And that's the first time that I saw that on the 29th of December, 2019, remember the day I said Kevin was unavailable? That's the reason why he was unavailable. They were having an engagement ceremony. So the whole year, this guy has been juggling this lady remotely and myself. At that stage, I didn't know Lesejo was still in the picture.
Okay, so let me try to translate this properly. Rappelez-vous, lorsque Kevin était off, unavailable, il ne répondait pas son téléphone, ok? C'était parce que les jours-là, ils étaient partis prendre les photos que nous tous, nous avons vues sur les réseaux sociaux, si vous voulez. Parce que les photos ont été postées par Acsa Olangi. Donc, lorsque la dame est entrée dans l'Instagram de Acsa Olangi, elle a vu toutes ces photos. Elle a appelé sa sœur. Ma sœur, va d'abord dans ses comptes. Regarde d'abord ce que je suis en train de voir là. Est-ce que c'est Kevin? Mais elle dit, si tu connais ton homme, même Kongonae Okoyeba, elle a regardé, elle a dit, ça c'est mon homme. Et elle a paniqué en fait. Elle a directement contacté Kevin. Et so when you got in touch with Kevin after seeing all these pictures,
he started reading the messages after midnight. So this is Saturday going into Sunday.
yeah,
right? And then he sent me, I think I sent you the screenshot where he says, we'll have to talk. This is something we have to discuss face to face.
Oh,
right?
you sent me a voice. Let me play it. Hold on. Whew. God, guys, keep the comments going. Keep your likes. Should
I keep talking?
No, hold on. I'm just looking for the voice.
So there's a voice where he says he's in hospital.
Yeah.
He's seeing his dad. That one you have to play. Because that one
so long, I might have to put it tomorrow because it's more than
that's fine. Okay, yeah. So he says to me he can't explain. It won't make sense to me. He's very sorry. And then he says, can I call you? So he calls me, right?
Okay. And then that's when you recorded him. I have the recording.
I recorded him because I could not believe what he was saying and I wanted to be able to play it back.
Okay, that's let me explain. Lorsqu'elle a découvert tous ces genres de photos, elle est partie sur YouTube, elle a vu, les photos ont été partagées partout, elle a appelé sa sœur, elle était dans le choc, l'émotion. Comme vous voyez là, elle a envoyé tout ça chez Kevin, et puis Kevin lui dit, écoute ma belle, c'est pas ce que je suis en train de penser, moi je vais t'expliquer et lorsque je vais rentrer là-bas, je vais t'expliquer ça en face. Si je t'explique, tu ne vas pas comprendre sur les téléphones. Et elle dit, comment est-ce que tu vas retourner encore m'expliquer? En ce moment-là, toi tu es marié, tu es déjà marié, ok? Moi, je suis ici maintenant en Afrique du Sud. Tu es au Congo, parti, t'es marié. J'ai tous les évidences. Tu vas m'expliquer quoi? Maintenant, je vais vous mettre les audios de la conversation le 21 novembre 2020.
Please, Chipo, I know you need money. I promise. I'll send it. I'm in a very predictable situation here. I didn't even wake up well. My blood pressure is very high. I have a very big headache. Please, please, I'm begging you. Please, if you consider me even as a person, listen to me. I know it's your money. I know what I did is not good. But please, I'm asking you nicely. I will do it. Please don't put me under pressure. Please. I think when if you see me collapse and die, then you believe me.
Là, elle dit, ma chérie, je sais que j'ai ton argent. Avec tout ce que tu as vu, excuse-moi. Je te demande pardon. Si même tu ne vas pas accepter, mais accepte pardon juste comme une personne qui te demande pardon. Je sais que tu as besoin de ton argent. Je vais te payer ton argent. Crois-moi. Mais si même je t'explique, tu ne vas pas me croire. Peut-être tu vas me croire lorsque je vais tomber en... collapse. Collapse en français, c'est quoi? Je vais tomber évanoui. Peut-être tu vas accepter. Et elle continue pour dire Kachibo, bah, écoute, on a face to face, ok? Face à face.
Do you realize what I'm going through?
Ok? Hold on.
Yes, I do. Do you realize what I'm going through? Do you realize what I'm going through in the moment? And you're blackmailing me with your messages. Do you realize what I'm going through in the moment here? To do something that you don't want to do.
Il dit à sa copine, il faut pas m'envoyer ce genre de messages. Est-ce que tu te réalises ce que je suis en train de passer en ce moment? Et puis il dit, I'm doing something that I don't want to do. Je suis en train de me marier alors que je ne vais même pas. Arrête de m'envoyer tes messages, c'est en train de blackmail. Blackmail en français, écrivez dans le commentaire. Pourquoi tu es en train de me blackmail avec les messages? Arrête de m'envoyer les messages, ok?
Do you realize that? Come on. I told you I know I did something wrong. I'm sorry. But please give me a break. Understand what I'm going through as well.
Il dit, je sais que j'ai fait mal. Comprends-moi, je t'ai déjà demandé pardon. Je suis en train de passer un moment difficile. Je vais te payer ton argent. Comprends-moi. Donne-moi un réponse. En fait, laisse-moi tranquille, quoi.
Listen, we cannot talk about it on the phone, right? Right now I'm in the hospital. You know the situation about my dad. I don't like it. There's been a lot of pressure between what I want and what my family want for me. So
Et il dit, tu sais que je suis ici, je suis à l'hôpital pour la situation de mon papa. Ça, c'est après. Déjà, la copine l'a envoyé, elle était en train de confronter avec Acsa. Pourquoi tu es partie te marier? Il dit, je t'ai expliqué la situation de mon papa. Donc là, ne m'énerve pas, tu ne sais pas ce qui est en train de se passer dans ma vie, je suis en train de faire quelque chose que je ne vais pas, il y a beaucoup attendez, je vais écouter ça bien, attendez, ok,
there's been a lot of pressure between what I want and what my family want for me, so please, let's not do this. I didn't sleep the whole night, I have a headache. I know you don't deserve this, but let's talk about it when I come face to face.
Et il dit, je n'ai même pas dormi la nuit. Je suis traumatisée pour cette situation. Lorsque je vais revenir, on va parler en face, toi et moi, on va parler face à face. Parce qu'il est en train toujours de planifier, retourner pour se voir avec sa copine, ok? So, can you carry on from after when you sent
on the same day, on the 21st of November, before we went into the 22nd, the 21st was a Saturday, I also inboxed Acsa.
Yeah, I have them. Hold on.
I inboxed Acsa on her Instagram, and I sent her a picture of Kevin and I in the jacuzzi, and I said to her in English, your fiance owes me money. Please help him pay his debt. She read that message. She didn't respond. That was the 21st of November.
Yeah, okay. I'm trying to get the screenshot because a lot of people would want to see your conversation with Acsa Olangi at the time.
Never responded to a single message, but she read it.
Yeah, okay. Elle, en ce moment-là, lorsqu'elle ne croyait plus à Kevin, elle a écrit à Acsa Olangi. Moi, je vais rien dire. Je vais vous mettre les messages qu'elle a écrits à Acsa. Vous et moi, nous allons lire ça ensemble. Comme ça, pour ceux-là qui disent que Acsa n'était pas au courant de tout ça, vous allez lire en français. Les gens qui sont là, qui peuvent même interpréter dans les comments, parce que Boro Penze Tondi, mettez ce que vous comprenez. So, vous allez voir, parce que Acsa a désactivé son compte. Lorsqu'elle a pris les screenshots, ça sort seulement Instagram. mais c'est les comptes de Acsa Olangi. Please tell your fiancé to pay me my money. That's all I ask. Congratulations on your wedding. S'il te plaît, dis à ton fiancé de me payer l'argent. Félicitations pour votre mariage. Tout ce que je demande, c'est l'argent. Et elle envoie les photos à Acsa Olangi lorsqu'il était en amour et tout avec son copain. Please help your fiancé pay off what he owes me before you sign your marriage certificate. S'il te plaît, avant que tu puisses signer les certificats de ton mariage, rappelez-vous, ça c'est avant les mariages religieux. Avant que tu puisses signer le certificat de mariage, aide ton mari à foutre à nyongonanga qui puisse payer mon argent. I don't want to embarrass anyone. Je vais pas vous embarrasser. Je vais pas embarrass en français, ça veut dire I just want what he owes me, and then I can forget about I ever met him. Genre que je vais juste qu'il puisse payer mon argent. Après, je vais oublier que lui et moi, il y a même eu une histoire. OK? J'ai d'autres screenshots. Oh my days.
First time I messaged her was the 21st of November. So that was Saturday. It was Saturday. Saturday evening. I think their first ceremony was on Tuesday.
Yeah.
Okay. And then I also reached out to her on WhatsApp. I got her WhatsApp number. Don't ask me how. And I messaged her. I called the number that's on her website. And a lady answered. And I said, please make sure Acsa reads the messages I've sent on this phone.
Yeah.
And immediately, after a few minutes, the messages were blue ticked, meaning someone had read them. I sent voice notes. I sent the recording of Kevin saying his father had stopped breathing for 8 seconds, that he doesn't want to marry her. He doesn't want to marry, he doesn't want to get married. He doesn't like Congolese girls. I sent her all those messages. And then I said to her, do you have them? I said to her, as a woman of God, I am sure you counsel women like me all the time. I don't want to interrupt your marriage. I don't want Kevin. I just want my money. Please help him repay my debt.
Yeah, I'm going to put that screenshot right now. You got in touch with Acsa. Là, je suis en train de vous montrer les screenshots. Lorsqu'elle a contacté Acsa Olangi, elle a trouvé les numéros de Acsa Olangi. Comme vous voyez les blue ticks sur WhatsApp, ça veut dire qu'elle avait lu les messages, mais elle n'a jamais répondu à la dame. Elle dit, I just want my money. Je veux juste mon argent et puis je vais rester calme. I do not have a lot. Je n'ai pas beaucoup. J'ai partagé ce que j'avais avec mon amour. This man has... Et puis cet homme a disparu avec mon argent. Je veux mon argent. Je ne veux pas Kevin. Genre, aide-lui. Vous allez prendre des screenshots en fait parce que il y en a un peu de trop. Et puis elle crie ici les 2 décembre. I see you have chosen to ignore my messages. Most unfortunately, je vois que tu as choisi d'ignorer tous mes messages et tout. I asked just for your assistance in recovering my money. J'ai juste besoin que tu puisses m'aider pour que je puisse recouvrir mon argent et tout. Mais en tout cas, toutes les communications qu'elle a envoyées à la servante de Dieu, elle recevait ça. Il y a même quelque part où elle a écrit, je sais aussi que tu es une femme de Dieu et que toi, tu pries. Et que chaque fois, tu aides les femmes qui sont dans la situation comme moi. Voilà, je pense que j'ai retrouvé ça. Donc, je vais vous laisser, mais juste payer mon argent. So, she's not responding to you, and then eventually she blocks or Kevin blocks you or whatever happens.
I also then opened a group on Instagram and had herself and Kevin, and he was reading, she was not. You know, on Instagram, you can see when someone's read your message, it says sent.
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. So he was reading, she was not. And then the day he blocked me, I think was the Wednesday, it was the 26th of November. I think that was Thursday. When I said to him, I'm including Acsa in this matter because I bought that engagement ring that she's wearing.
Did you buy the engagement ring?
Well, I gave him 90,000 rands. I gave him $6,000. So what did he do with that money?
Oh my, what? Like les gens, elle est en train de dire, le 26 novembre, après Kevin n'était plus en contact avec lui, il dit à Kevin, je vais maintenant prendre, j'ai pris contact avec Acsa. Comme toi, tu as pris l'argent que je t'avais donné, tu es parti acheter la bague de fiançailles, pas la bague d'alliance. Tu es parti acheter la bague d'alliance à ta copine. Maintenant, moi, je vais tout dire et tout et tout. C'est pourquoi elle commençait à dire, et maintenant Kevin qui était énervé, éventuellement, Kevin bloque sa copine. OK. So you told them about that.
And then also the other thing I did was on the day of the traditional wedding, Kevin was talking to me. He called me. He tried to call me like 6 times. I didn't answer. And then I said to him, if you don't pay my money by 5:15, I'm going to call ELLE. I'm going to call David Olangi. I'm going to call Kaseya. I'm going to call Eunice. I'm going to call the entire Olangi family. So you better make sure you pay my money by 5:15.
Right.
That's the day he paid me 5,000 rands. This man owed me 265,000 rands. He gave me 5,000 rands that afternoon.
So clearly, ces soirs-là, après qu'elle a commencé à intimider, je vais appeler David Olangi, je vais appeler Inès, donc je vais appeler tous les clans Olangi pour leur dire clairement à cause de cette affaire et tout et tout. Et c'est ces mêmes jours-là que Kevin paye. Did you say 5,000 rand?
Yeah, 5,000 rands. He paid me 5,000 rands.
Out of how much?
Out of 265,000 rands.
265. So that's now he owes you 260,000.
Yeah.
So he literally didn't pay you nothing.
Didn't pay me nothing.
Kevin avait sa dette de 265, 265 000, OK? 265 000. Et lorsqu'elle a commencé avec des menaces, Kevin qui ne paye que 5 000. Donc, en gros, lorsqu'on est en train de parler aujourd'hui, en ce net moment, Kevin a la dette de cette dame de 260 000 rands qui n'a pas encore payé jusqu'en nos jours. C'est maintenant là où les grands problèmes vont arriver. So, he pays you back. How did he pay you?
He sent me a bank transfer, an immediate payment.
Okay. And then did that silence you, or what happens from there?
No, it didn't. I said it's not enough. You can't owe me 265,000 and only pay me 5,000. By then I'd already messaged Acsa. And then he says, okay, I'm sick and tired of your blackmail now. Go ahead and message her. So I did. I've just sent you a voice note that he sent me. So I sent him a screenshot to show him that I'd already messaged Acsa.
Okay, let me play the recording of him telling you.
I just sent it to you now.
Oh, no, that's not playing. It's invalid. Okay.
It's invalid.
Yeah, it just has 1 minute.
Should I play it from my side? Maybe you can hear it from my side.
Okay, play.
Did you hear that?
What did you say?
Hold on. I'm just putting the volume on my phone.
Please delete it.
Did you hear that?
What was it? Please, what?
Please delete that.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So this is the message. He's saying I should delete the message I've sent to Acsa.
He's begging you not to get in touch with Acsa, but you already did anyway.
I'd already sent the message, so he was begging me to delete it. But I'd already sent it to her.
Yeah. Donc là, lorsqu'elle a pris contact avec Acsa, maintenant, lui, il commence à supplier la dame, s'il te plaît, efface les messages que tu es en train d'écrire à Acsa. Mais c'était déjà trop tard parce qu'elle avait déjà écrit sur Instagram de Acsa, elle a écrit sur WhatsApp de Acsa, elle était déjà là avec l'histoire en fait. So, now let's move forward. He blocks you.
No, he hadn't blocked me then, right?
Yeah.
So then now he says, look, everyone knows now. So whatever happens, happens.
Yeah.
Okay. So that night now, I posted on her Instagram. I've since deleted that post, I posted on her Instagram. I posted on Ketzia's Instagram. I commented on a picture that the JCC had posted on their story. I think I sent you that.
Yeah.
And then she went live. Well, someone went live on her profile on Facebook.
Yeah.
And I was frankly, I was posting all night.
Hold on.
And I was saying, please, Kevin's in-laws, please help this man pay my debt. Please, Acsa, help your husband pay my debt. Please, you cannot start something new when you haven't closed off something old. At that stage, I thought I was the only other woman Kevin had.
Okay.
I didn't know this existed.
Okay, hold on, let me translate this bit. Bref, elle dit que lorsqu'elle a contacté son copain, que lui dit non, efface, ne contacte pas la famille, elle s'est énervée. Elle commençait maintenant à contacter tous les clans Olangi. Elle est partie même sur les vidéos live de leur église et dire qu'aider cet homme à payer les dettes. Elle a écrit presque partout sur la compte de Ennis. Elle est partie écrire sur la compte de Ketia. Vraiment un peu presque partout. Elle écrivait. S'il vous plaît, et elle a particulièrement écrit aussi à Aska. Comment est-ce que tu vas te marier avec quelqu'un qui a beaucoup de litiges? En fait, payez d'abord les dettes, comme ça vous allez vivre en paix. Right.
So the whole night, Ketsia blocked me. Being an Olangi blocked me. The only person who hadn't blocked me is Carmela Olangi and Acsa herself.
So, lorsqu'elle a écrit, Ketia va la bloquer. Being Olangi, la petite blogueuse là, va la bloquer aussi. Et la seule personne qui l'a pas encore bloquée, c'est Acsa. Vous allez comprendre, Acsa a quitté ses réseaux. So, c'est impossible qu'elle puisse bloquer cette dame. OK? Donc, la famille était au courant et ils ont juste préféré ne pas réagir, ils ont bloqué cette dame, OK?
Yeah. So then that was Tuesday night. Wednesday, Kevin tried to phone me again. I didn't answer. He messaged me and says, look, I know I owe you money. Please, just relax. I'll get you your money. Right?
Yeah.
Okay. And then on that evening now, that's when I sent a message saying I've involved Acsa in this matter because I paid for her engagement ring. That was on the WhatsApp group that I had formed. And I said, Kevin, I don't understand why it's so difficult for you to ask money. Just sweet talk her the way you used to lie to me, the same lies you told me to get money out of me. Use the same lies to Acsa and get money from her to pay me back. That's what I said. And that's when he...
Voilà, elle dit à Kevin, mais pourquoi tu ne peux pas aussi la tromper comme tu m'es trompé? Trompe-la aussi, parle avec elle calmement, qu'elle puisse te payer, qu'elle puisse te donner mon argent et puis toi, tu vas me payer. Comme ça, vous allez juste vivre en paix. Vous allez vivre en paix et tout ça. Et c'est maintenant, après ces messages-là, que Kevin l'a bloqué. OK? Kevin maintenant bloque cette dame.
Okay, so he blocked me on WhatsApp. Oh no, he sent me a message before he blocked me. He said, you helped me very much when I was going through a divorce, and now you said you don't want me anymore, so it's okay, goodbye. And then he blocked me.
Voilà, avant que Kevin puisse bloquer cette dame, Kevin dit, tu m'as beaucoup aidé pendant mon divorce. Tu m'as beaucoup aidé, tu m'as donné de l'argent et maintenant tu dis que tu n'as pas besoin de moi. Bye bye, et il bloque sa copine.
He didn't tell me how he's going to pay me back. And then, so that was on WhatsApp. And then when I said to him, sweet talk Acsa the same way you used to sweet talk me to get money, that's when he blocked me on Instagram.
Okay, so no communication whatsoever. You've not been in touch with him.
Okay. No, none whatsoever.
Okay, donc
so
elle
that was the 26th of November.
26, you've lost contact with Kevin.
Since I haven't. But him paying me that 5,000 rands, that's an admission that he knows he owes me money.
OK. So you've got proof of him paying you, and you still
I've
got
got the proof. I've got proof of every single payment I gave him.
Mm-hmm.
I've got all the bank proofs of statement. I've got all the, when you do in South Africa, you can send money to a phone number instead of to a bank account. I've got all that proof.
Donc, voilà, elle explique, Kevin la bloque et elle dit qu'elle a toutes les preuves. Cette dame, j'ai parlé avec elle hier soir, comme je vous ai expliqué, et même aujourd'hui pour qu'elle puisse rentrer dans ses lives. Elle est vraiment articulée, elle connaît l'Internet, c'est quelqu'un qui est vraiment up-to-date et tout et tout. Elle a toutes les preuves, tout ce qu'elle donnait à Kevin, toutes leurs conversations, tous les voice. J'ai un voice de 13 minutes que j'ai même dit, je ne vais pas mettre ça ici, je vais mettre ça demain sur la chaîne. Vous allez venir écouter vous-même. Et elle a tout le preuve. Et puis, l'histoire est sortie. Comme vous-même, vous savez, elle est venue live, elle a parlé, mais elle ne s'était pas exprimée de cette façon. Et elle avait compris qu'elle voulait s'exprimer librement elle-même afin que le monde puisse connaître son histoire. I'm just saying to them that, you felt like you needed to explain to everyone so that everyone can understand your story. En gros, cette dame était mariée, OK? Elle a quitté son mariage parce que son homme était infidèle. Et elle était mariée, ils ont eu des enfants, mais son mari commençait à voir ailleurs. Il est parti faire 3 enfants dehors. Et elle a craqué, elle a quitté. Elle a refait sa vie. C'est une femme business. Elle a beaucoup d'argent et tout et tout. Et puis, voilà. Et c'est là où le cauchemar a commencé avec Kevin. So now that you got in touch with Lesego, the truth came out. Let's go a bit more quick now.
Okay, and so very quickly, about 2 weeks after the wedding,
yeah.
I obviously have been watching Instagram and whatever, YouTube. I see the story about a woman in Kevin's car. The car's going back to the bank. So I was like, what? Who is this woman? And then I dig a little deeper. I then find out that, oh my gosh, Kevin was never divorced.
Yeah. So it's,
okay.
Yeah.
I see a live on YouTube. Mamu interviewing Lesejo talking about her marriage to Kevin. I took Mamu's number and I messaged her immediately. And I said to her, my name is Chipo. I was dating Kevin. So Mamu called me. And said, I would like to speak to you. Then she asked me if she could come to my house.
Yeah.
And she came with Lesejo. That's the first day I met Lesejo.
Okay. So, elle dit, après lorsque l'histoire est sortie, elle a vu maintenant les lives que Kevin n'était pas divorcé, choquée. Elle est rentrée en contact parce qu'elle avait aussi suivi une directe que moi j'avais fait et tout et tout. Elle est en contact et tout. Donc, voilà, à partir de là que toute l'histoire a commencé. Elle est partie en contact avec Mamou. Elle a fait son interview. OK. So take it from there.
Okay, so that was Monday, the 14th of December. Now, remember the wedding, the last ceremony was the 29th or something of November. So this is 2 weeks after the wedding. Okay. So I get in touch with Mamu. She comes here with Lesejo. I really wanted to apologize to Lesejo. I wanted her to understand where I was coming from.
Yeah.
Right. And she understood, thankfully. I thank God for that every day.
Yeah.
She's taken me like a big sister, and she checks on me every single day. Every single day, she says, good morning, good night, how are you? Are you okay? Have you eaten? She checks on me every single day. She is the most amazing woman I have ever come across.
Donc voilà, okay. Elle a rencontré Lesego. Elle dit qu'elle voulait juste demander pardon à Lesego parce qu'elle ne savait pas qu'elle existait. Elle se sentait vraiment mal, mais c'était pas aussi de sa faute. Lorsqu'elle est rentrée en contact avec Lesego, je pense que vous avez vu le jour-là, elle était un peu réservée, comme vous pouvez imaginer. Hein? Elles ont fait l'interview, mais aujourd'hui, elle se sent libre dans cette live pour qu'elle puisse vous parler de tout sauf rien. Lorsqu'elle a croisé Lesego, c'est une très bonne femme. Vous n'allez même pas croire. Lesego était compréhensif. Elle parle maintenant et Lesego même la considère comme sa grande sœur. So
then also at that time when we met, that's when I discovered that Lashwana, the 21-year-old, does not exist. The house I thought was Kevin's is not his house, that Kevin is not a doctor, all the lies that had been told. That day is when I found out everything.
Alors,
So that
lorsqu'elle a rencontré
weeks after the wedding.
elle a compris que Kevin n'avait pas la fille de 21 ans, qu'on était en train de faire des cadeaux, qu'on était même en train d'acheter tout, et que Kevin était marié. C'est le même jour qu'elle a appris que Kevin n'était pas docteur. C'est le même jour qu'elle a appris que Kevin ne travaillait pas. C'est le même jour qu'elle a appris que Kevin n'était pas divorcé. Elle a appris beaucoup le jour-là. So, what is the main message or the main point of this life? Because you want to make it very clear. Are you here because you miss Kevin? You want Kevin back?
Or I don't want. I don't, and I said it right from the day I found out that this was happening. I told him, I don't want you. I told Acsa, I do not want your husband. I just want my money, right? Mm-hmm. The other reason why I spoke out was because I was party to separating a married man from his family. So I feel so guilty for all the hours Kevin spent in my house, in my company, when he could have been with his wife and his child. Yeah. That is not right. Right? I am a Christian woman, and I am so surprised that Acsa could keep quiet and not even reach out to Lesego privately. She doesn't have to answer to me. I'm not married to Kevin. Yeah. I am just a girlfriend. Yeah. But if I, Kevin's girlfriend, can reach out to his wife to apologize for my part in the whole story, why has she not done it?
Okay. So,
number one.
Elle est en train de dire, le but qu'elle est ici, elle ne veut pas Kevin. Elle voulait juste demander d'abord pardon à la femme de Kevin parce qu'elle s'est sentie aussi concernée d'être avec un homme qui n'était pas divorcé. Et elle, étant qu'une femme qui était mariée, qui a divorcé son mari à cause de l'infidélité, elle n'est pas dans la paix. Alanda direct nanga, et c'est pourquoi elle était venue parler. Lorsqu'elle a parlé, elle nous dit maintenant, comment est-ce que moi d'ailleurs qui étais, juste avec lui, je suis partie même voir les Sego. Et lui maintenant qui était marié avec les Sego, qui a eu un enfant avec les Sego, ne demande même pas pardon ou ne contacte pas les Sego. So now I'm going to give you time to give a message. I'm going to let you talk about what's the main point. I know everyone has heard your story. You've got a nice timeline. You're flowing. Nothing is made up. You've been able to back up everything with a lot of evidence. My phone is even full with screenshot, with timeline, very well presented, this story. Now, what do you want from people? Or what do you want from Kevin and his now wife and then the Olangi's family? Take it away.
Okay, from my side, I just want my money. I helped Kevin when he needed it. And now I know why he needed money. He was not working. He had no money. When you are, I'm not a rich person, but I work hard for my money. It's criminal what he's done. It's criminal to tell so many, I'm getting emotional now, so excuse me. He told me so many untruths.
Yeah.
Why? I don't deserve this.
Yeah.
I gave out of my good heart. He can't walk away with my money. I want my money. Acsa must help her husband pay back my money. The other reason why I spoke out, I told you, I wanted to apologize to Lesego publicly. I've apologized to her in person, but I wanted to apologize to her as well because I never wanted to be part of a threesome. I left my husband for what Kevin is doing now. I left my husband for cheating on me. If I could walk away from that, I believe it's important for Lesego to know and for me to be remorseful towards her. And thirdly, as women, guys, we must not be complacent with our men. Men, by virtue of their being, are adventurous, right? And here I'm talking to the younger women, right? I believe, yes, I was very naive. I was too trusting of Kevin. I took everything he said to me. He gave me no reason to question, to think, okay, because he was so present and attentive. He was so there for me. He showed me love. And maybe I was vulnerable. I was a little bit vulnerable. So I was a little bit lax than I normally am, because normally I'm all over. I check everything. When a man approaches me, I want to know what he does, where he does. I never looked at LinkedIn until this happened. I never checked him on LinkedIn, only to see the only LinkedIn profile. He doesn't talk about his medical degree. He only talks about the business finance job that he had, that Lesejo was already presented in a different video. Mm. I didn't do that with him because he gave me no reason not to. But the lesson I've learned, you have to know who you are dating. You have to know who you are marrying. You have to know who you are married to. And it's okay to walk away and start again. Remember, I told you at the beginning that I prayed for God to reveal if Kevin was the man for me.
Yeah.
And what God does, and I've learned this repeatedly, God doesn't make it a small painless experience, because then you won't move, you won't leave.
Yeah. Okay.
Right? God makes it hard so that you remove yourself from that bad experience by force. He moves you by force, and that's what he did to me with the situation.
Can I just give a bit of, I know this is it's getting deep now and very personal and emotional, but because we have people, they don't understand. And, I kind of owe them an explanation. Elle est en train de dire, vraiment, elle est maintenant émotionnelle, elle pleure déjà. Son premier concern, c'est que elle voulait publiquement demander pardon à Lesejo d'être sortie avec son homme. Elle ne savait rien du tout de tout ça. Elle voulait aussi que son argent puisse être repayé, qu'on puisse payer son argent parce qu'elle travaille trop dur pour cet argent. De 3, c'est une chrétienne. Elle ne voudra jamais sortir avec mari de quelqu'un. Et elle dit, elle est en train même de se dire que peut-être une part, c'était sa faute parce qu'elle était un peu naïve. Elle croyait tout ce que Kevin lui disait. Et elle est quelqu'un de trop vigilant. Elle check même les LinkedIn de quelqu'un pour savoir. Mais avec Kevin, tellement il y avait l'amour, elle ne faisait pas tout ça. Mais elle a dit, rappelez-vous de la prière qu'elle avait fait avec la bougie, que Dieu puisse montrer si Kevin était vraiment l'homme pour elle. Et aujourd'hui, elle ne regrette pas. Et elle lance un message fort aux jeunes filles, les gens qui sont mariés, les gens de couple comme nous autres. Soyez vigilants de vos maris, parce que les hommes en général aiment aller goûter, aiment aller voir ailleurs. Ne soyez pas trop naïfs, ok? So take it from when you did the prayer and the candle and you got your answer from God.
So God answered me. Remember that night when he was arriving in Congo, when Kevin was arriving in Congo? Mm-hmm. That was God telling me, go and look. The answer is there. If I tell you how I discovered Acsa Olangi, it's God sent me to that Instagram.
Yeah. Mm.
And then he had nothing. He had no explanation. How can he tell me I must wait for him to come back? And Adrian, you've got all the recordings where he says, I'm not getting married. I don't love her. I'm not getting married.
I'm going to share this. All the bloggers, toutes les Congolaises, les YouTubeuses congolaises qui sont là, if you are a blogger, someone who does YouTube, analyse et tout, straight on my Instagram, je vais vous envoyer tous les audios. Comme ça, vous allez faire vos analyses librement. Now, I want you to send a message to both Kevin and his now wife. Je veux maintenant qu'elle puisse s'adresser à Kevin et à sa femme.
I know for a fact, God will never bless anything that starts off on a foundation that is not pure. You started off on lies. Just like the reason why my relationship has ended with you, Kevin, it's because you were lying to me. I told you in several voice notes, your love was not pure and honorable towards me, and God has proven that. Acsa, I tried to warn you, you ignored me. Marriage, guys, marriage is not everything. I have been divorced from my ex-husband for 12, it's going to be 13 years this year. 13 years. I have not died. I have managed to do more, to be more, to build more, to raise my son on my own without a man. Marriage is not everything. You cannot want to be with someone that is lying to you, that is not pure to you. So, Kevin, I want my money. I want my money back because I swear I'm telling you now, God is watching. You will never be successful. You will never succeed in anything you start because God knows you have not closed off everything and everyone that you've ever wronged. We have to ask for forgiveness, guys. We have to. I've asked Lesego for forgiveness. I didn't know that she was there. So if I can ask Lesego for forgiveness, why can't Acsa? Acsa knows Lesego is there. Acsa knows Kevin is a father to Dacia. How does she feel? As a woman of God, how does she feel? If I can be tormented by knowing that I was keeping Kevin away from his wife and his daughter, how can she not feel tormented? How can she just keep quiet? And how can her family be complicit? I would never, and my cousins know this. I don't have any biological brothers, but I have lots of male cousins who I call my brothers. They know this. They know if I hear anything that they're doing to their wives, I am the first to speak up.
Okay, hold on. Just
That's what families should do.
Don't lose track. Give me a second. Elle est en train de dire à Kevin, clairement, tu ne seras pas successful, tu ne seras pas heureux dans ton mariage. Tu sais bien que tout ce que tu me disais, c'était des mensonges. J'avais un amour pur pour toi. Je ne connaissais même pas que les ségos existent. Moi qui étais même ta copine, je suis partie demander pardon à ta femme et à ton enfant. Comment toi, tu ne fais pas ça? Comment toi, tu es là avec Acsa? Et elle dit à Acsa que tu les maries, que tu as pris là, ce n'est pas bien. Et comment en tant qu'une femme, tu peux être insensé, insensible aux cris d'une autre femme et d'un autre enfant? En ce moment, elle est émotionnelle, elle est en train de dire beaucoup de malédictions, Mambamabe sur Kevin et tout et tout. Can you carry on then, please?
And I'm saying, if I could care about Dasi, I have not met. The first time I met Dasi was on Monday the 14th when her mother came to my house with Mamu. I have been buying Dasi little gifts, asking how she is. I had not met her. When I was Kevin's girlfriend, Acsa is now Kevin's wife. How does she sleep at night when she doesn't care or show care to Kevin's child? Now, okay, let's say she didn't know. She didn't know up until the wedding. I've told her. I know Lesego has messaged her. I know the bloggers and all the YouTube articles are out there, and I know they're watching. Why has she not up until today? It's a month and a week after her wedding. Why has she not reached out to Lesego? Why has she not reached out firstly, as a woman, secondly, as a woman of God? And then Kaseya goes and posts intercessionary prayers for women that are crying. How sarcastic, how rude, how unthoughtful, how cruel can you be? They were running prayers for women that are crying. Yet right under their nose, there's Lesego crying for her broken marriage, crying that the father of her child has been taken away from the child. What kind of people are they? And then we move to Kevin's own family. Kevin's family who were there when Kevin married Lesego. Kevin's family who know what this woman went through to support their son and brother. How can they condone this? How can they turn the other cheek? What kind of people are they? I'm sorry, guys, we are African. We are African. In Africa, we don't see color. We don't say this person comes from that tribe, especially where I come from. By virtue of you being black and female, you are my sister. Black and male, you are my brother. I don't care where you come from. It has pained me to see Congolese people say, oh, anyway, leave Acsa alone. Leave Acsa alone. Lesego must just keep quiet. She's from South Africa. What kind of attitude is that? How are we ever going to be a united Africa if we cannot support our brothers and sisters? As women, and these are women that are talking, as women, we are not supporting each other. I had to speak up. I am not going to be party of bringing another woman's marriage down. I had to speak up. I had to ask for forgiveness. Kevin's family, Acsa's family, Kevin himself, Acsa herself, evil on legs. I'm sorry. Evil on legs. They can pretend to kneel down and apologize, asking for pardon and apology. They don't mean it. If they meant it, someone would have sent a delegation, gotten on a plane and sent a delegation to apologize to Lesego in front of her family. That's what we do as Africans. That's what African people do. I don't know how it's done in Congo, and I thought Congo was in Africa. But that's what I know to do. You send a delegation. This man was married to Lesego. He is still married to Lesego. And yes, it might not have been sanctified in a church, but in Africa, we recognize we recognize traditional marriage. That is a marriage. We have to do better. As women, we have to do better. We have to call out wrong. We have to call out men. We have to call out, and we have to raise our sons better. I will never allow my son to treat a woman the way Kevin has treated me and treated all the women in his life. I will never allow that. We have to call out wrong, and we have to support our sisters. And that's the reason I'm speaking tonight. This is wrong. Kevin must pay back my money. He must send a delegation to apologize and fix the rubbish he left in Lesego's yard. He has to fix it. He has to ask for forgiveness. Acsa is complicit. She has to ask for forgiveness. In fact, she mustn't ask. She must beg Lesego to say sorry. And then they must pay back our money, please.
Oh,
thank you, Adrienne.
Thank you so much. That was too deep. Voilà, vous venez d'écouter les lamentations d'une dame. Elle a touché à beaucoup de points à ce moment. Je me suis dit que je puisse d'abord la laisser parler librement. Elle a parlé de l'Afrique doit être unie. Elle s'en fout d'être congolais ou pas. Pour elle, si tu es noir, tu es une femme, tu es sa sœur, tu es noir, tu es un homme, tu es son frère. Et comme Acsa s'est mariée avec Kevin, elle était au courant et c'est une complice aussi. Elle demande que son argent puisse être rendu. Elle dit que Acsa doit demander pardon pour avoir traumatisé une autre femme et son mariage. À ce point, vous allez comprendre que les deux ne veulent pas que Kevin puisse retourner. Mais tout ce qui demande, comme vous voyez, Chibo, c'est une très jolie femme. Hein. Regardez sa photo. Elle n'avait pas demandé tout ça. Elle avait quitté son premier mariage à l'âge de 37 ans à cause de l'infidélité de l'homme. Et elle se disait dans sa vie, elle ne peut jamais faire briser un couple d'autrui. Et lorsqu'elle est venue, et aujourd'hui, elle vous parle de son cœur pour demander pardon à Lesego. Et comment est-ce que Acsa est en train de dormir chaque jour en sachant que son mari a laissé une femme ailleurs avec tous ses dettes et tous les dettes qu'ils ont. Donc, voilà, elle a parlé, vous les Congolaises, vous êtes là en train de l'insulter. Si vous n'avez pas d'argument, quelqu'un qui vient, qui présente son histoire, elle n'avait pas demandé que Kevin parte se marier à Acsa. Et Ezalika Mwambongo, vous allez venir sous les commentaires insulter. Parce que voilà comme vous. Est-ce que chez nous, d'ailleurs, ceux qui m'ont dit na likambo, Oroyano na timeline ya boité. Elle a toutes les évidences qu'elle vient de présenter. Ils sont en train de lire les commentaires que vous, les Congolaises, vous allez laisser. Oh non, parce que ce n'est pas une Congolaise, même si on l'escroque, c'est normal. En tout cas, vous devrez avoir des cœurs à la place du cœur si vous allez laisser les commentaires pareils. Pour moi-même, Naoki Malili Nanzoto, il s'aligne bien. Et puis maintenant, elle a parlé, elle a besoin que cette vidéo puisse être partagée de partout. Allez interpréter, allez faire des analyses. Les Congolais qui vont se moquer d'elle, d'accord. Espérons que vous êtes dans des relations divines, que ton mari, là, Saint-Esprit, a rokendo cheat. Quelqu'un écrit, Aska, pourquoi tu endurcis ton cœur? Elle a dit, mes copines, vous qui êtes là, le mariage n'est pas la fin du monde. Pour biso ba Congolais, to komisa liba la fin du monde na biso. Mariage n'est pas amuser l'autre. Hein? La vie, c'est d'abord toi. Regarde comme je vous ai montré sa maison. Cette femme a de l'argent, elle a tout. Elle était mariée à Tikana Elibala, oh Yozowela. Aujourd'hui, lorsqu'elle a appris tout ça, c'est un choc et tout et tout. So, I think we're going to get to wrap up with yourself now. Okay. As I said before, I'm really sorry for what's happened to you. I'm going to have Lise go here tomorrow. She has a few things to say. But at this point, I wanted you to be, in a state of mind that you've spoken out. Bloggers are going to get the story. People are going to share this more and more. And I don't want you to focus too much on just this, but rather look after your health, because you don't want to damage your health, or your mental health rather, because of someone who's clearly enjoying his new marriage. And I know at the end you don't want him back, but you want your money. At the same time, don't be at home crying, or don't be at home like overwhelmed with all of this. Just think of like you're lucky. Count yourself one of the lucky one. I've seen the photo of your house. Kevin could have done a lot worse. He could have gotten to scamming your house, or bringing disease such as HIV to your life, and then you ended up being killed, okay? Because if he wasn't clearly faithful, what else could have it done? Like you said, it's around 17,000 that he owes you, but that's not the price of your life.
No.
So for me, I'm Congolese myself, and I do not stand with all the negativity. If wrong is wrong, I'll call it out, because to me, wrong is wrong, right is right. Right is never wrong, or wrong is never right. You have your story. We've given you time. People are going to do it. I'm going to have a show tomorrow, and people are going to talk about this. Les Congolais, je veux que vous puissiez prendre cette histoire, pas pour vous amuser, bokendo sekaye neti biso tozana biso ba anti-valeur. Ba yebi biso déjà en Afrique mobimba ke biso nde boy. Les solo oto ko beta ote pona osala G. Ça pouvait être toi aujourd'hui. Oye na histoire no na posta ki na Facebook. Bino bokota ka boya ka otia minoko. Bozulu ba makamba ba soko linga ko kalikama mutu te. Kofungola Facebook te, kofungola YouTube te. Kuno okuta ba news na ba news. Quelqu'un qui t'approche pour parler, bolingo ka vérité te, vous les fanatiques aveuglés. Moi, je vais d'abord l'enlever sur les lives, comme ça nous allons parler avec vous. Thank you so much. I don't know if you have something, you have a last thing to say.
Very briefly. I just wanted to say, Adrian, thank you so much for this platform. I think I chose to speak to you because of the language, the ease of expressing myself and making sure that the message gets translated correctly, because it has been lost in translation. I know there's been a couple of voice notes that have been sent around making it look like Kevin called Lesego when it was not the case. And we don't want to be we don't want the Olangis to have, the Olangis or Kevin himself to have a position where they can say, no, but that's a lie, right? Because then it discredits everything, all the work that has been done thus far. I also want to thank Mamu International. She has been fantastic in getting our message and our story out there.
Yeah.
Right? She's been fantastic, and I just wanted to say thank you and God bless her. But also thank you to you. The reason I called Adrian was actually because I heard you speaking on one of her videos, Adrian. That's why I reached out to you. And I just felt this woman gets what I'm trying to say. So let me reach out. And that's why I found you and I emailed you and we had a conversation yesterday. But thank you, everyone. You don't have to believe what I said. But like Adrian said, I have everything to back up my story. And I just am speaking up for women. What Kevin has done, it's not the first time that a man has left his marriage to go and marry someone else. And it's probably not going to be the last time. But when it happens, we have to call it out. Kevin could have very easily sat me down and said, Chipo, it's over. And told a lie about why he was breaking up with me. But he should have done that. He should have done the same with Lesego. Lesego, it's not working out with me anymore. Close off nicely. You cannot be starting relationships. And, by virtue of you sleeping with someone, being intimate with someone, you are exchanging spirits. How many spirits is he going to have out there? It's not godly. It's not okay.
Yeah.
You have to close off with someone before you start something new. And I said that in my messages before he got married.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's all I have to say. Thank you very much, everyone. Please continue to pray for us. Please get the message out there.
Thank you so
much. I
just
want my money back, please. My hard-earned money.
Thank you so
much. That is for my child. I want my money back.
Thank you so much. Yeah. Just to make it clear, elle a dit, maintenant je vous récupère l'audience congolaise lingalophone, elle a expliqué pourquoi elle voulait me contacter parce qu'à un moment donné, il y avait quand même l'ambiguïté, la compréhension entre ce qu'elle était en train de dire, il y avait quand même barrière et tout, parce qu'elle avait écouté ma façon de parler et elle me suit d'ailleurs, voilà. C'est pourquoi elle voulait que je puisse vraiment la donner mon plateforme pour qu'elle puisse s'exprimer librement comme elle vient de le faire aujourd'hui. Là, je vais vous dire, elle m'avait fait son email et on a pris contact. Elle vient de dire avant de quitter cette vidéo, Kevin était en train de coucher avec elle. Et comment est-ce qu'un homme peut... Il était avec beaucoup d'hommes au même moment. Beaucoup de femmes, elles, les Sego, et coucher avec Acsa au même moment. Lorsque vous êtes en train de coucher avec quelqu'un, vous êtes en train de passer les esprits et tout et tout. Combien d'esprits cet homme va posséder? Et elle tient encore à dire, elle avait dit à Kevin de finir d'abord sa relation. Parce que Kevin pouvait même lui dire, Naboyo. Et elle allait être OK avec ça. Plutôt que Kevin puisse mentir sur la relation et dire que je ne suis pas mariée, boy. Moi, je voulais maintenant parler à la communauté congolaise. Je tiens à vous signaler les Sego Azana Makam et Belé Alinga Loba Lobby. Tokoyoka les Sego, moi je vais donner les Sego plateforme Oyo. Les Sego reviendra ici. Elle va vous dire encore de plus en plus ce qu'elle veut vous dire et envoyer message à Acsa et ce qui est en train de se passer. Elle vient vraiment, elle veut s'exprimer librement. On sera ici demain live, ok? Donc, pour moi, les Congolais, Boka Moussanga, des fois, Talandi déjà tout combien de peuple est ridicule même dans les réseaux sociaux. Bah, et bibiso, même les réseaux sociaux savent que Bisonde Tozana Banti Valère. Vous avez quand même des blogueuses Nabino qui sont là, moi, je ne suis pas dans les anti-valeurs. Ceux qui n'avaient pas, comme j'ai dit, ceux qui les kamama beza, na balobi, Pauline Aza ou la Danois, je vous ai dit, tous les gens qui ont l'air YouTube, demain faites vos analyses. Prenez cette vidéo, coupez-la en morceaux. Si tu as besoin de voice, écris-moi. Je vais vous envoyer des voice, des photos, vidéos que tu as dans Kevin en train de préparer dans la cuisine. Comment est-ce que vous, toute une communauté, vous allez vous attaquer à nous? Parce que nous, on est en train de sortir une histoire. Quelqu'un avait vu sur Arana Yakoloba. C'était Adrienne qui avait demandé à Kevin de sortir avec Chibo. C'était Adrienne qui avait demandé à Kevin d'aller épouser votre maman pasteur. Non, ce n'était pas ça. Ce n'était pas ça. Pourquoi vous ne comprenez pas? La vérité est têtue. Aujourd'hui, regardez comment elle est venue s'exprimer librement. Demain à 18h, je pense 19h, heure de Paris. Lorsqu'on va mettre les points sur les i, je dois d'abord écouter Mamou. Et je dois d'abord écouter les Sego elle-même. Comme vous avez écouté aussi, elle a remercié Mamou parce qu'elle a fait son travail. Elle a travaillé, mais eux, ils ont besoin d'atteindre le maximum d'audience. Ils ont besoin d'atteindre maximum de Congolais, maximum de notre communauté. Et ils se sont bien jugés qu'ils ne devraient pas seulement s'arrêter à une personne. Ils veulent maintenant contacter tous les grandes blogueuses de la RDC. Et la facilité avec moi, comme elle a dit, je vais expliquer tout et tout. Les Sego s'est senti obligé de prendre contact avec moi. Elle va parler de la part, sa fille et tout, on sera ici. Mais, attendez. Donc, biso tozaba peuple moko, n'invité. Demain, je vais vous prendre. Demain, vous allez intervenir au téléphone. Je vais faire tout pour vraiment avoir un téléphone. Pour nakoyo kabino. Oh, bino bozana, on va vous écouter. À la famille Olangi, moi, je n'ai rien à vous dire, rien à vous demander de faire. Et même laisser Guavi vos pardons. Elle est même très fâchée, raison pour laquelle Alinga Rozonga lobby, atterrissage forcé. Elle veut retourner demain, atterrissage forcé. Là, je vais appeler Pauline parce qu'elle était aussi, elle faisait part de cette live. Allô, Pauline, tu es live? Tozo Yokayo.
Again, why are you calling me?
Because you called me. Okay, let me check it. Voilà, elle voulait juste me montrer quelque chose. Attendez. N'a réitéré ma message. Elle était ici, Chibo, hein, comme moi, na cour, hein. Elle est venue ici, elle nous a parlé de comment Kevin avait assisté Enis Olangi na accouchement naé, comment elle était en train d'expliquer à la famille basta la césarienne, ce qui l'a choqué de plus en connaissant maintenant la vérité que Kevin n'avait pas un diplôme de docteur. Il paraît que, selon Chibo, Enis Olangi a botaki na césarienne. Tant on passe à robot et Kangié, ils ont appelé leur beau-frère, médecin Kevin. Kevin a expliqué, on va sala eboe, bazongsa boe, basala boe. Dès que moi, non, à bota. Mais Kevin a un conseil venant de son ami pour aider Enis qui était à New York pour aller accoucher. Regardez comment cet homme devient danger public. Et en deuxième lieu, Marquis Oezaki na feti ya Olangi, Mutazaki kosala ba démarche dans l'union, c'était cette dame. Et de troisième lieu, regardez comment Kevin était très content avec la dame. Chaque jour, bah, présente, bah, cadeau. Et l'homme avait même inventé une fille qui n'a jamais existé de 21 ans. Elle envoyait toujours des cadeaux. Vous allez voir cette image. Les coins, les escaliers, ça ressemblait à la même photo. Elle a une très jolie maison comme Mekakutute Kindoki. Exacte ba niveau ba maison tout monde a awawa. Eza maison en Afrique qui est moi aux femmes d'affaires. C'est une très jolie femme, elle est so beautiful. Elle n'avait pas demandé de tomber dans les mains de cet escroc. Mais comme bolingo kwiti kwiti et memi bango côté memi bango. Bandeko nanga vraiment, cette histoire c'est triste. Triste, triste. Et demain, comme prévu, on aura les Sego qui viendra ici. Elle a beaucoup à dire, beaucoup, beaucoup. Nga pende naza nanga bankite, na balara nanga kevinite. Je ne peux pas cacher tout ça. Et koya nango kaka kobima awa lobby. Nande Kevin a comment occupé ça va conseil, ça c'était vraiment important que je puisse vous montrer ça. Au jour d'aujourd'hui, peut-être Enis a koka ko botanae bien. Ye koto a ça va conseil. Ce n'était pas en tout cas bien. Donc, ne venez pas ici sous les commentaires parce que les gens ont bloqué te belé. Oh, akoya na nini boy. On n'est pas venu ici insulter. Sur le côté en doute kene na yo. Ok ko ailleurs. Ici, si tu veux regarder l'émission de demain, viens avec un commentaire. Même si que Chipo était naïve, elle a accepté. Elle a dit qu'à un moment, peut-être, elle pouvait ouvrir les yeux. Mais un homme qui te donne l'amour pareil, un homme qui était avec toi 24 heures sur 24, elle n'avait rien du tout pour douter contre cet homme. Mais, Netika Binomo Boyebi, Kevin peut être ce qui n'a ni. À tout prix, Kevin prenait des cadeaux venant de cette femme. Mais, comme Bolingweza a trop matata, même moi, ça va comme Olamba poulet à Mwamba. Elle a même appris comment faire makaya, bufumboa, comment faire liboke, faire kwanga, parce qu'elle s'apprêtait pour devenir la nouvelle chérie ou la nouvelle femme de Kevin. Heureusement qu'elle avait fait sa prière et Dieu a enlevé Kevin dans ses mains. N'a pas essayé de conseil parce que Kevin pouvait ramener même la maladie. Il pouvait même te vendre cette maison à dégâts. Il y a kilo kutanaï. Soso ya mwamba. Vraiment, RDC Profondeur TV, vous êtes bienvenus de récupérer cette vidéo. Reprenez la vidéo, partagez la vidéo. Demain, nous allons être live. On va discuter. Nabad pourquoi laissez Guazonaro solo lana et je vais parler avec elle moi-même. Comme ça, vous allez prendre cette histoire, repartager ça dans vos blogs, parler de ça parce qu'elle a vu que comme elle ne sait jamais exprimer elle-même, alinga kayabo yokae de vous-même. Dénonçons nos vivants, ce sont les combattants qui insultent les lives alors que personne ne les appelle sur nos lives de justice. Ils ont un tribunal T, ils appellent le Banzambe T, qui comme bon balobi, alléluia, amen, mais ça va aider Acsa Olangi avec toutes les dates précises que les gens sont en train de donner. Elle va maintenant vérifier de son côté, de sa part. Bozo Seka Poule Mwamba, elle avait appris ça. Hein? Oh, il y a ma photo, beaucoup sekandeni. Lorsque quelqu'un te dit, chérie, je suis trop fatiguée, j'arrive, fais-moi à manger. Pe mkolo on a asir ba chimolaki. Na butu tango ya ali atondi. Bokanti Kevin alala eka pamba. Tala tabino mokolamba ya boy. Ils étaient vraiment bien amoureux comme jamais. Elle m'a envoyé beaucoup de photos, mais je ne pouvais pas télécharger toutes les photos. Bah, vous en avez besoin de photos, vous allez voir ça sur Instagram, Adrienne Première Dame. Merci d'avoir suivi cette vidéo. Je vais d'abord donner quelques dédicaces aux gens qui étaient là, les administratrices d'aujourd'hui. Je voulais vous livrer un live sans lire les commentaires. Pour commentaires, vous êtes à 2000 quelques personnes. Si vous voulez que cette vidéo soit là jusqu'à demain, bo aimer en haut, bo aimer en haut mingi, bo aimer vidéo, ou aimer zaranon bongote. Aimer la vidéo, ça va faire énormément du bien. Ok, donc c'était bel et bien Adrienne, Première Dame, et qui est la star à papa pour autre image, autre message. Si vous allez faire star Congo Azawana, Congo Star, Instagram Congo Star, si vous voulez voir des audios, vous voulez avoir des photos, tout, et lobami awa, eza na phone nanga ezoluka nde kota okendi. YouTube ezongi elengi. Merci beaucoup, Angry. Je pense que tu es devenue notre nouvelle administratrice de live. Ko bloquer batu mingi te. Awa déjà du coup to fingara batu te. Bene qui est là. Angie, vraiment la nouvelle administratrice. Malembe Kuna, tu peux juste effacer les commentaires qui insultent, mais soyez légèrement gentils envers les personnes. Sandra B, merci beaucoup. Merci Tata Po, j'ai plus les souffles, à force de le temps que je puisse, mais you know, on va se retrouver demain. Ok, je pense Pauline sera live. We need to do live, to do a live on Instagram. Pauline va faire live maintenant, je pense something. Bon, je vais vous laisser parce que ma cambo, elle est qui n'a guerre à 100 ans, il y a 100 jours. Elle est qui même na ma cambo, elle est na Congo. Merci beaucoup, Divers TV, Milia Royal, Sarah AFL, Élisée Boukatou, Donna Chimel, Eva Rose, Léo Julia, Congo Sista, Bibi Mbenkson, la Brazzavilloise Brazzaville. Thank you so much, Cynthia. Soule Baoba, thank you. Congo Star, Instagram Congo Star, thank you. Namoni comme na 52 000 abonnés, vraiment, ainsi que tout le monde dans cette vidéo. Demain, Tokutana pourquoi on va d'abord écouter les Sego lorsqu'elle va parler. Après, je vais vous faire téléphone ouvert. Bokoya koloba, bokoya ko se déchaîner, mais attention. Awa, ba fingarati. Ok? Merci, à très bientôt.